And I let you guys in the room. I thought you would have started talking, man, instead of just sitting there with dead air. Wow.
Oh, Salaki, I was being patient.
I let you guys in the room. I thought you would have started talking. Yeah, I mean, that was just let you outside of the room, man. That was good.
Oh, I got you. I know now.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just left everyone else on then. You know what I mean? Like myself, like I wasn't in shit. Anyways.
You got that trumpet?
I got that, that's in the other room, man. So far, but, shalom, everyone. Looks like we might have lost some people. It's only 21 people, and silence kills it. But anyways.
Shalom.
Hey, what's going on, Clint?
Yo, what's up, Todd? You got my messages or the videos I sent you earlier?
Nah, I haven't really checked my phone, man. I keep my phone on do not disturb a lot, man. I be getting so many calls.
Yeah, I sent you some videos about the topic right now. About the got some videos I sent you about Mexicans and the blacks out there in Chicago fighting, and I got some footage and all that stuff. And like basically, it's a lot of tweets and stuff like that, and it's showing you what's like the nitty gritty out there. What's really going on? I want you to check them out.
Yeah, so I just want to start off by saying this: we're not racial. I don't hate anyone based on their skin color or their, and I just also like to put out there: Mexican is not a race. Mexican is not a nationality. No so-called Hispanic group is a race, nor is any kind of Hispanic group is a nationality. It's a hybrid, meaning that it's a mixture of a few of the so-called original races. And this, primarily what this video is going to do is going to prove that none of you are Israelites unless you are a descendant of a so-called Negro man, according to the Bible. This is not racial. I'm going to just shut down all the damn garbage once and for all that a lot of these fake Israelites that's really Christians with fringes on is teaching out here. And I dare any of you can't. If your doctrine is, truth, then disprove what I say. And I know damn well you can't because you're pushing false doctrine. See, what you're suffering from is self-negation. You hate yourself and you always have a need to pull someone else in to make yourself feel better because you hate who and what you are. And this is the place that you're coming from. And on top of that, these people that you're calling in to be your so-called brothers and sisters, they hate you. And it didn't start here. It started from where they came from. You got to understand, when you deal with the origin of these people, they stem from Spanish, French, and so on and so forth. And I said this last night, you simple-minded japes, you need to really start to think. When Esau went out to conquer, whether he was a French, whether he was, Spanish, whether he was Roman, Italian, or whatever, they always sent the men. He does not have a history of sending women out. So what Esau did when he got there, he ravished those women after he conquered that land, letting you know that the vast majority of those descendants would have been what? They would have been Edomites. These are facts that you can't dispute. And all it takes is a little common sense, man, for you come to the realization that these people, and I know I'm cutting a lot of these camps, but it's true. And you guys, you just consistently want to teach lies. You know the damn truth because we've taught you that, but you still want to hold on to your old ways, right? It's like a drug addict with a bad habit. So your drug is self-negation, and you always want to pull someone else in to make yourself feel better. You feel like you can't do things by yourself, like you're inadequate. So that's the inadequate. You have a handicap, and your primary handicap is niggeritis. You love being that Nigger. You just can't seem to get away from it. And this is what they've actually rendered you to. Now, when you look at the census report, and just stop me where I'm lying at. Again, I'm not being racial, I'm being a realist. When you look at the census report, most of these people that you're calling your brothers and sisters, they refer to themselves as whites, these Hispanics. Now, whatever beef that the so-called Hispanics have with Esau, that's their problem. That's not mine, your problem. Because Esau created an ethnic group that he called Mexicans or that he called Hispanics or that he calls Latinos, and then he rejects them. That is not your and my problem. That is their problem. So you say, oh, he discriminated against him too. That's because Esau likes someone to be what they call a pure so-called white person. And if you're not that, he would discriminate against you. These are facts. What I'm stating here are actual facts and truth. And so since you are the darkest of the dark, and he know that you are his counterpart in opposition, he hates you above all because he know the elite of the world know the truth. The elite know that there's no such thing as a so-called Hispanic man without a so-called black man. They know that. These are acts. And so I'm going to ask you to try to overcome your cognitive dissonance tonight and really listen with an open mind. And if you don't, then hey, man, that's you. But denial of the truth, opposing the truth, resisting the truth does not make it a lie. It's still going to be the truth. And I've always said that truth will make you mad, then make you free, not set you free. According to John 8:32, the truth will make you free. But many of you, you have a barrier known as anger. You have a barrier known as polemics. And until you could actually overcome this anger, you will never be free. You're a slave to your own mindset. Anyone, you brothers, got anything before we go into this?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, you guys, we all need to be open to what the truth is. So once you see it, just repent. I know you're getting in your little money. I know you're trying to appease folks. You may even be, married to someone of another nation. But facts are facts. This is not hate. This is pure, unadulterated truth, right knowledge. All right. These are true facts. Because unfortunately, nowadays, a fact doesn't have to be true in order to be a fact. But these are true facts based on accounts. So listen up. That's all I got.
God.
What I wanted to say. Oh, go ahead, Zadal.
To all my brothers and sisters that are still, in a lot of these camps, you know what I'm saying? Um, I know I come from a lot of these camps, and um, I know a lot of brothers that's married, a lot of sisters that's married um, to so-called Northern Kingdom. That's not Northern Kingdom. I know it's hard to let go, but you're gonna have to let go. And it's all right. They be sojourners, don't turn them away from the Most High, you know what I'm saying? But you have to let them know and understand that they're not an Israelite, and
Come on.
uh, and, and that you have to be with your own kind of people. That's according to the scriptures, and we'll get in that in a second. All right, King, clean like Lennon.
So I just wanted to say, from what I've seen today and the videos I've been seeing, man, like I'm totally disgusted by the Mexicans and the so-called Dominicans and all these Latino races. I'm disgusted by them, like because of how they act when it comes to us. In times like this, where um our race is becoming more unified to combat, society way of making it seem like we're the criminals, we're the thugs, we're the so-called bad people of this earth, when according to scripture we're the so-called chosen people of this earth, and they at least know we're the chosen people. But these people, these Mexicans, these races want to stay in line with so-called brainwashing that they've been gotten from their mothers and their fathers and their grandmas, and generational type of teachings that we are the worst people on this earth. And from what I see in these videos, man, they killing people that's innocent, that have nothing to do with anything that's going on in the current situation of the world with the protesting and the rioting and stuff like that. So basically, they're just showing they hate that they already had built inside all this time, and now that the world is going through this cataclysm of things right now, they feel like this is the opportune time to show what they really feel for us and not have any consequences because the police are working with these Latino groups. It happened in New York City when they was working with them in indictment, and it's happened in Chicago where they're working with them in that area. I don't really live out there, but from what I heard, they're working with the Latino group, whatever out there, people. So you see that as so-called black people, we have to see what the real enemy is in this all these nations, man. All these nations have a perpetual a hate for us, and they're showing it now. And we need, as black people, as a black race, so-called chosen Israelite race, we need to come back to this truth. We need to understand what fight we're really in, because we're really in a fight, and the fight is coming. It's turned to be physical. It's been before, it was mental. It was verbal, but now it's really turning into a physical thing, man. And people are getting hurt. Innocent people are getting hurt, and I'm disgusted by it, man, because the so-called, it's like we just sit around and act like nothing's going on, man, and we try to always trying to unify. But if you in these scriptures, the scriptures do not the scriptures do not promote unifying with other nations, man. Most High, he wants us to be separate, and when we come back into the truth, and our nation is fully empowered, and we're good to be able to go around and teach, then we can embrace other nations until our fold, man. But until then, we need to make sure that we patch ourselves up, man, as a unit, man, as a fortress, man, as a kingdom, man. We need to come back and understand what fight we really in, man, because people are dying, man. And the Most High is allowing this to happen because his people are not hearkening on to this word, man. And this and Tazda is trying to do his best and get all us together to come in and spread the word that we can unify and start, and the Most High will start giving us the blessings and protection that we need right now, man, because we're suffering as a people as all around the world, man. Like other nations, even the Chinese, man. The Chinese was out there in their area throwing out all the so-called Africans they thought that lived in that, saying that they had the coronavirus, man. So this is happening not only in the USA, man. It's happening all around the world right now, man. So we need to get and point, man. We need to get on point, we need to get sharp, man. We need to sharpen our swords, and that's what I gotta say.
Con. Yeah, I wanna I'll just land me back off of that. I just want to say this. Like, I've never had a problem with any so-called Hispanic or anything like that. But what I have a problem with is hate. What I have a problem with is people that discriminate against us for no reason. And I mean, really, there is a reason, and that reason is envy and jealousy. Now, when you attack our women, innocent, teenagers that hasn't done anything to you, and then you come on my channel and trying to justify that, yeah, I got a real problem with you, man. But and so what they're really exhibiting is their ignorance, because those people, they clearly don't know who they are. They don't know their origin in the world, but that's not an excuse. You don't get a pass for that. What you're exercising is the hate. And I'm gonna hit you something clean, like Lennon. This is not something that's new. These people bought this from the lands that they came from. There was reared to be that way. And a lot of these people, they know who they are. They know that they're descendants of Edomites, and which is why they feel how they feel, man. The scriptures say the spirit bears witness, man. Who is Israel? The reason that they're doing this is because they know that they're not us, man. And so they have this need, they create all of these names. And this is what incenses, what really incenses me, man, is Jake that still have these people around, man. After that really incenses me, man, for these camps to still have these people around and then still attempt to act as defense attorneys for these nations, engaging in polemics in the art of disputation, trying to defend someone that's calling you a nigger and don't give a damn about you. Our people need to wake the hell up, man, for real. For real, man. You need to wake up. I was trying to get the links to those videos. Can you post them in the room? I just try to email them to myself, but the email didn't pop up. I was going to try and click on it and play those before you get started, but the emails didn't even pop up, man.
Yeah, let me do that right now. I'm gonna copy and paste it, send it in the private chat.
Yeah, you can put them in that chat room. So this is what it is, right? And all you so-called Hispanics under the sounds of our voice, you're not Israelites. You're not Israelites. And to the Israelites that's teaching these lies, may the Most High bring curses upon you for lying to our people and lying to the world. And, I'm praying that you get rid of that niggeritis that is actually plaguing you, that you can't seem to let go of, that you always feel that you have to, bring someone else into the fold. That's not of us. This right here, what's going on, that you see going on in the world, this is, prophetic, man. How all of these nations are raising up against us. And so this is all prophetic, man. Hold on, we got something here, man. Let me play this first when you put it here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And before we go into this lesson, we're going to see what's going on. And you guys are going to see for yourselves how these people really feel about you. And don't try to say it's like, well, it's just that section. That's a damn lie, man. These people has been racist towards us from the inception and coming into existence. They're racist like this back in the lands that they call their own, that are really our lands, by the way. Because I'm going to bring out tonight how the damn Tainos, they were so-called black people. You people don't know who you are, man. You don't know your origin in this world. But if you have the courage to watch this video tonight, you're gonna learn who you are. Let's see what we got right here.
Stay home. Ain't letting nobody in this bitch.
Can you guys see this?
Shit to do, come out here. Stay home. Ain't letting nobody in this bitch.
So every Jake that was driving through here, nobody's looting or anything. These people attacking them. And they use the same slang that we use. Yet they hate us. Yet they want to attack us.
Swagger jacking.
Pure
Swagger
ignorance.
jacking.
Pure ignorance. So as you see what's going on here, through the neighborhood, so-called Negroes driving through the neighborhood, they're completely neutral. They're just trying to get from point A to point B. And you got these Mexicans, these mestizos, attacking them, attacking innocent people for no reason whatsoever, under the guise that they're defending their own neighborhood. You don't own one damn inch of any block there, but you call it your neighborhood. And these people, they operate on a false pretense that this is their land. This is not your damn land, man. This is not your. The true Aztecs were so-called Negroes. Understand that. All of the people that you try to claim, they were so-called Negroes. Always have been, always will be. Just like Esau, you're culture vultures. You don't know who you are, so you forcefully try to claim other folks' identity. And this is what's going on here. This is why this hate exists. But you're going to learn tonight.
Pull out the straps. Pull out the straps.
Now, as you see, this guy is telling them to pull out the gun. Um, you know, they're not really showing their face, but this right here is atrocious, man. This is atrocious.
That's what the fuck it is. What up? Yeah, we good.
So we have to, pardon this lingo that they're using. We did not endorse any of the language that they're using, nor do we endorse any of this violence that you're seeing in the video. But these are
Con.
Mexicans that you got simple Israelite camps that's saying these are their brothers when they hate your damn gut. And this is not just a small faction. On a large scale level, this is how these people feel about you. You go out in the
Con.
street like a damn fool and you bang on Esau. But these are Edomites right here, man. A
Con.
Mestizo is nothing but he's nothing but a admixture of a Moabite, a Edomite, and to a very small percentage, Jake. Because most so-called Mexicans don't wholly have any Jake in them. Understand that. Understand that.
Nah, they can box and run. They can run and box. They're Israelite. They
That's
can
what
play
GMS
soccer.
say.
They can play
Anything they got
soccer.
to relate with us, they Jake. GMS love saying that. They love saying that.
Yeah, they simple as hell too, man. These our people are simple, man. They're pathetic. All of you Israelite camps out there, every single one of you, and they know this, man. They know this by now, and this is why I don't respect none of you, man. None of you, man. Unless you repent, I don't respect none of you because you're betraying your people, your nation.
No, shots fired! Ali! Who's the trash can?
Now, this kind of behavior, Akim, Trump should build a damn wall. You can see why he doesn't want this here, man. You can't be mad at him for that, man. This is what they're bringing here. You could keep that back over there.
Con. That's crazy.
This is what they're bringing here. And I could almost assure you many of these people in this video are probably damn illegals. You understand what I'm saying? Many of them are probably illegals, man. This is why they're deporting a lot of them, man. When this kind of behavior goes forth, they should be deported.
And can I say this, Salakia? Like most time when they're illegal, they get deported and they come right back here. That's the MO with the Mexicans. Everybody like knows that in New York. Like most of them get deported and they get right back over here again. Do some type of underground or some type of whatever situation they got. The Mexicans cartels got going on with America. You know what I mean? They get back over here some way somehow.
Come. They're, like I say, man, they're in the false pretense that this is their land because they've been miseducated by the very same people that oppress us. And so this is where Jake go left hill. He was like, oh, they being oppressed too. They don't have a damn thing to do with us, man. We don't control who Esau oppress. But these people right here, these people are racist against us. It's blatantly obvious. And this is not on a small scale level. And if you think it is, take a trip to California. The only time that these people, I remember when they start first coming into New York, clean like linen. But when you first see them, you know, they real humble and docile until they get a damn job. Like when I was at Mount Sinai, you know, they was real humble and docile and so on and so forth until they got a damn job working for Esau. Him paying them $2.50 an hour in a damn pizza shop. Then they start acting a little different towards Jake, man. And I'm not making this up, man. I'm speaking actual
when I read
facts.
the delis, they want to have a little attitude when they making your sandwich and all that. Then as soon as somebody comes in and starts speaking Spanish, they be in there hooking their sandwich up, give them a lower price and all that. I seen it with my own eyes, man, countless times, man.
Come on. Again and again.
Like I said before, to anybody that's black, African American, do not go in no Hispanic neighborhood. The reason being, they playing for keeps. They snatching people out their cars. They blocking them in, snatching them out their cars, beating them up, stabbing them, setting their cars on fire.
Now, how can you now? Let me show you the double standards. If Esau was doing this, Israelites would be making a damn cry about it.
You damn Skippy.
You don't hear a damn thing about this. How many camps you hear talking about this?
None of them. And they'll be going hysterical. They'll be going hysterical, you know what I'm saying? If the plain Jane white man be out there doing it.
Right, that shows you double standard, man. These damn people are hypocritical, man.
Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Nothing. You ever seen no videos on this? Not one of them. Not one of them. Then usually when I call them out, you see them trying to go and do something. They'll try. They hate me. He'll go Tyler Doc again, putting us on the spotlight. You damn right. You're damn right. You guys are hypocrites, man. And you are traitors to your nation. You're just in this for video clicks and all of that.
That's a shame. It's a crying shame.
Now they're taking neutral, innocent people, snatching them out of cars, setting cars on fire, and you're still calling these people your brothers. Like, oh, well, this is just a small faction. No, it's not, man. Across the board.
The last thing y'all want to do in a little village neighborhood is start a fucking race war with the west side of Chicago, south side of Chicago, and even some of the people over east and up north. That's why I'm telling my people, anybody of color, to stay out of their neighborhood, stay in y'all own neighborhood. We don't come in y'all grocery store to shop. Y'all ain't got shit but Cermak Produce and Pete's Mart. That's all y'all got. The only thing I've ever bought out of Pete's was some nail for my homie to support his liquor line, man. I'm telling all black people, stay out of them Hispanic people neighborhoods, man. They playing for keeps. There's a lot of people on there talking about they ain't doing this, they ain't doing that. They snatched a pregnant girl out of her car, stabbed her up, beat her boyfriend up, and set their car and shit on fire.
Now, how does that make you feel, man? Now, how could you look one of them in the face and call them brother, man, after something like that?
Man, I'll be ready to kill one of them.
They snatched her so-called, and I don't even know her, man, and I'm already feeling some kind of way. You see what I'm saying? If these so-called Negroes won't protect your own, you deserve death. You should be on your knees begging and praying for death because you're not worthy of the life. You won't protect your women and children.
Calm. Straight up. This gotta, bring it out today, man. Because when I seen this stuff, I'm like, nah, man. Like we can't be like acting like these people ain't doing that, man, and just give them a pass. We can't give them a pass, man.
We're gonna see if these.
My things, man. Go ahead.
We're gonna see if a lot of these camps still gonna be saying the same thing when it really ramp up, and the Northern Kingdom really get on. Oh, it's the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom back beefing again. No, them is Gentiles, man.
Yeah, but you know what these camps are showing? A lot of these camps are probably 2/3. This is why they're doing the things that they're doing. They're out here calling all these other people's 2/3 because if you look at the truth and you deny the truth, how can you say you're righteous? These are possibly 2/3 peoples, man. How you gonna deny this right here? If you're just a little wise, say, hey man, this is a real problem I have. Now let me ask you, man, these guys in these camps, if something pop off, who do you think they're gonna side with, Jake? You're gonna believe their word for that. You got a problem, man. You got a serious problem.
I already got some Latinos now. They can't speak Spanish around me, man. We speak English, because if you speak Spanish around me, I'm taking the type of way, and we want to go shoot the one on real quick, like I'm not even playing.
Shit out of here, nigga. We ain't do none of that shit right here.
Look at this. His sister. I got attacked by 5 Mexicans. Little village. Attacking black people. Look at that, man. Can't really read those right there. See, this is why it's important, man, that we exercise our Second Amendment rights legally. You see what I'm saying? Because in self-defense, if any of them come at you, you have a right to defend yourself. He's calling these people looting. Not one of these damn people was looting. See that? Look at that. He said there's nothing wrong with a community teaming up with police to protect their neighborhoods. Now, you know what's so ridiculous about this? As I've been reiterating over and again, you had Asians looting. You had so-called whites looting. You even had damn so-called Hispanics looting. But they pinpoint Jake. Why? Why they only attacking Jake, Yashabun? Why they only attacking Jake, Zadok? What about it, clean like Linton? Why they only attacking Jake?
That's what I'm saying. I'm in the comments right now reading saying, oh, these are just mistakenly gangs fighting each other. But I'm like, that's BS, man. Because
How is this gangs,
I don't see
man?
Latino gangs fighting each other. I never seen that before. Even when you get locked up, there's never no Latino gangs fighting each other in jail, man. I never seen that either. So
these are not
they
gangs,
just be
man.
making
These
up
are
anything.
people. These are innocent people that they're calling loot. So whoever's in the room is trying to justify this, and you need to get your ass out of the room. Because they're trying to justify this. They're making it clear. They didn't say anything about no gangs. They would have called them out. Man. You seen the text from the sister
No,
that
tell
said
them
she
to
got
bring their ass on the chat and improve that crazy shit. They know that's gone. Saying, man, come on.
Envy and jealousy, man. Straight hate.
Yeah, man. That right there. It's just it's wicked. That's the wicked of the wickedest. What we see right there is the wicked of the wickedest. Let me see what else you put in here. What else we got here? Well, you clean like linen put over here, man. There's another one. And clean like linen just fell out. Yeah, that right there, man, just incenses me. That's what you want, Jay? Then clean like linen's having a connection problem. We go again. This right here, these people need to be deported, man. It's just bringing more destruction to this, which is really our land. They're under some false pretense, oh, well, the land belongs to us. That's a damn lie. You've been miseducated, utterly. Notice how they're using all of our words and everything. Where do they learn to speak that way? They got it from us. They don't have no swag. It's about everything they got, then stole it from us. They envy us, and that's what this is really all about. These people has actually had a perpetual hate from us for us from the beginning. And now it's coming out, and I hope you're watching. It's coming out for the world to see, and you can't limit this to no gang. This is who these people are, man. You can't limit this to no gang. It's not about no gang. They're not attacking any gangs. They're attacking neutral people right here.
Come.
They want to attack innocent black folks.
Cause they scared for that real war. That's why they don't know war with black folks, man. They don't want that. That's why they got their own gang. Got their own jail. MS-13 has their own jail somewhere. When do you ever see a black man have his own jail?
Look at that. They done jumped out of the car, breaking out windows. Now, you telling me these people that's driving through his gangs? Come on, man. You know what's bad about all of this, Clean? Is that the so-called blacks went over there and ended up shaking hands with them.
Oh yeah, I seen that. That's why I even clicked that video. I seen it on the title. I'm not clicking that, man, because I'm
that
not
infuriated me. That
I'm not
really infuriated.
They went over there and they shook hands with them in some kind of truce after they done killed people and done this.
Same thing they did in indictment, man. Same thing they did over there when they ran on little kids off the block. Same thing they did over here. As I said, like the so-called Israelites, man, they lost their warrior spirit, man. Somewhere down this captivity, man. The warrior spirit is really gone, man.
At the end of the day, I believe it's like Eliezer said. They really don't care, man. They really don't care, about outsiders, man. Look at that.
When it comes to these other nations, man, Jake don't want to have no smoke for real, man. But when it comes to Jake on Jake, man, they were all the smoke. They were all the drama, all the violence, all that stuff.
All they want to do is kill his own people.
Smoke, they scared these little Mexicans, 5'1", 4'11". They don't want no smoke with them. You serious, man?
I mean, shit, you already got Israelite Jake saying, you know what I'm saying, they rather ride for the gang than to ride for the Israelite. You know what I'm saying? They ride for them damn so-called Northern Kingdom before they ride for the real Israelite.
Right.
Crazy.
So I'm gonna go into some of this now, man. Trying to educate some of these ignorant. That's the word. There's no darkness like ignorance. So where did Hispanics, Latinos, whatever they want to call themselves, and Mexicans? Because Mexicans, they'll say I'm not Hispanic, not Latino, or Mexican. And believe it or not, man, they have more Edomite in them than most of these Hispanics. Them and the so-called Puerto Ricans that they're trying to call Ephraim, right? So we're gonna go into.
Oh yeah, you could definitely tell they got way more Edomite. But I mean, look at their bodies. You know what I'm saying? I stay out here, you know what I'm saying, where they at now. You know what I mean? But I mean, all the other Spanish people, you know what I'm saying, like women bodies are way more better, look more close to a so-called Negro, you know what I'm saying, more closer. But a Mexican body, man, most of their bodies is tore up from the floor up. Just like those Mongoloid natives that they talking about is Gad.
All right. So now what we're looking at here, can you read that, Yashiba? Are you able to see that?
Small. No, that's too small for me to see.
Okay, this is a true Taino. This is what most of these so-called Hispanics like to refer to themselves as. Now, as you see from ancient artifacts, the true Taino, the people that they refer to as Indians, this is a true Taino mountain man from Hispaniola. This is where so-called the Dominican Republic in Haiti is today. And as you can see, they were so-called Negroes. They were not what these people want you to believe. They tell you they are indigenous. This is what the true indigenous man look like from Central and South America. It does not look like those other people. Those people that you see, they're admixtures. And they have very little true Taino blood in them. They have mostly Edomites, and they have a percentage of so-called black women. Because what the conquerors did, when the Spanish, the French, the Italians, when they went on to conquer people, they didn't send women, they sent shiploads of men. And when they got here, they had their way with women. And so the only of these people that's Israelites is the ones that you can see maintain their Negro-ness. The vast majority of these people are Edomites. This is what these Israelites need to get in their hands, and they cannot dispute this. You've been lied to by One West. You've been lied to. Anyone that's teaching something otherwise, it is a lie. And I challenge you to come against me with any evidence to prove otherwise. Yeah, listen to a lot. Yeah, I'm Taino. This is what Dominicans trying to say. Well, this is what the damn Taino looks like. They look way darker than you. These are the true indigenous people of North, Central, and South America. Now, do he look like he has slanted eyes to you, clean like linen? No, because he's not a Moabite. They came later. The Moabites came in and they mixed in with these people. Then Esau comes down in the 16th century and he mixed in with them. And so you have now what you have on reservations today, and everyone's confused. Does everyone see that?
Khan.
Does he look like Genghis Khan to you, Yashabin? No.
Not at all. Okay, spiky hair because it's that non-ether hair. Big old defined eyebrows, and them cheekbones, and wide nose and lips.
Now I'm going to ask you something. Why is it today that people that they're referring to as Native American have slanted eyes? And why do so-called Mexicans have slanted eyes? It's because most of the so-called Mexicans, many came from Hernan Cortez, making them Edomites, the bulk of them. And the others, they're mestizos. They're mixed with the indigenous people that was so-called Negroes, by the way, and they mixed in with the Moabites that they call Native Americans. So they created an admixture known as mestizos, And some of them are mixed with all three admixtures, so-called white, so-called black, and so-called Native American. That's why they look how they look. And they think that well, this is not your land, man. You're not indigenous here. You've been lied to. And there's some of the women. This is what the true indigenous people look like. As you can see, that's what you refer to as Negroes, man. This is what they look like today. Can't you see that Negroes? They don't show them. They don't show them when they're showing you places in Central and South America. Why don't they show them? This is the true indigenous population. They don't show you this. You won't learn this. You damn sure won't learn this on Coconut Island. And you won't learn this in Mexico. Now, this is what the true native South American man looks like. This is the indigenous man. See, this isn't what you refer to as a so-called Indian. Is that a Negro or what? These are the biblical Israelites. The Moabites came in later and replaced them. This is a native South American so-called Indian. John Baptiste, Derber, or Johann Martise. This is what the natives look like. Now get Soto Perez out of that one. Huh?
Not going to be able to do that.
Get J-Lo out of that one.
Can't do that one either.
Again, here's more native South Americans right here. These are so-called Negroes.
Yeah, I can read that one. That says Native South Americans, 1816 to 1831. John Baptista Debret or Johann Moritz Rugendes.
Mm-hmm. So these are the true natives, man. These are Negroes. Understand what thy readest and seest? No. And you can't dispute this. What are we looking at? We're looking at ancient artifacts. Now, these are the original paintings depicted what is believed to have been the climax of the First Caribbean War on St. Vincent, when in February 1773, a treaty was made between the British and the main black Carib chiefs. Chief? I call them chief because they was damn Indians. What you call Indians or Native Americans or Indigenous Americans. Now they not Negroes. Talk back to me. Are they not Negroes? I contend that they are, man. Y'all don't have to be afraid. I'm the one that's talking. There you go again. All of these lands that you see right here, every single one of them in Central and South America was occupied by the so-called Negro. Those are the true indigenous population. So when you try and say you're indigenous, you're not indigenous anywhere, baby. You're not even an original race.
Not at all.
You're hybrids. You're admixtures. Tell it from the mountain, man. You telling someone to go back home. If we told you to go back home, where in the hell would you go? You don't know your origin in this world. Because wherever you would go, you're going to find out that we was already there before you got there. Without us, there would be no you. The whole of all nations comes from what? It comes from us. the complete sum. All of these other nations. You're recessive from us. Here's a young man, New Guinea. See that woolly hair? See what that says about Native American descendants? These are Native Americans, man. Not what you see today. Not what you see in John Wayne movies.
Looks like that's
what you see. You see more about. What's that?
Said those marks that they got on them looks like that's where they got the inspiration for Black Panther from the Americas.
Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger.
And he looked just like one of the Jakes around the block. You know what I'm saying? On the block.
Sure do.
They don't look like Hector. He don't look like Miguel. He don't look like Fernando. He don't look like Felix.
It says important parts, genetic evidence. The Americans. Americans descend partly from a Native American founding population that carry ancestry more closely related to Indigenous or Australians, New Guinea, Islanders, than to the present day Eurasians and Native Americans. You see that? You see that? So he's saying the true Native Americans were these and not the Eurasians, Native Americans, meaning the people that came from Europe and Asia, to those of you that can't understand. Now, this is what they look like today. See, this is a Eurasian Native American. See his eyes? Now, stop me where I'm lying at. Tell me so-called Mexicans' eyes are not like that.
No, you're right. That's them.
Tell me where I'm
right.
Now, why are their eyes like that? Because they came down and they mixed in with the indigenous populations, but they also mixed in with Hernán Cortez's people, and they created what is known as Mexicans. Mexican is not an original race, and this is not your land. You've been lied to, man. You're talking about the Incas, the Mayans, and all of that. You're talking about Negroes, man. You're talking about Negroes. We're not going to allow you to steal our heritage. Then they said what the Incas look like. Now, did they look like that damn dude you just saw?
Not at all.
Right here. You can tell by his gray hairs. And these are two younger men surrounding him. Portrait of the Inca nobleman. This is what the Incas look like, man. Painted by a native painter, Andreas Sanchez, 1599. The Incas are depicted wearing Spanish clothing, but with the Inca gold adornments, and are captioned with Spanish names, prefixed by Don, meaning the Lord or gentleman. It is the oldest known sign and dated painting from South America. Oldest one from South America, man.
Got him.
Get Rodriguez out of that. Get Jose Rodriguez out of that one. Get him out of that one. Get Del Yahola out of that one. Huh? And as said to have been commissioned by the colonial official as a gift to the Spanish king. Here's what the Incas look like. So you can't say you're them anymore. Now, you see this admixture? This is what they come from. They came from this right here. See how they mixing in with the true native women right here, and they produce this.
That's
see
what
that?
they look like today. That's exactly what they look like today.
See that? Now, to all you simple Israelites that can't figure it out, again, When the conquerors came here, they came with exclusively men. And they ravished the women. And they produced this. So why don't you tell me, Zadok, what in the hell must these camp people be to have this look? What must they be?
They Edomites that the
Edomites.
Bible speaks of.
Thank you. They're the Edomites that the Bible speak of, man. Now get that damn guy that was standing next to Tazariak out of that one. Get him out of that.
Con.
Get any of them out of this, man.
He and he know he's not a damn Israelite, but you know he claimed on my father's Mexican. I mean, your father's Mexican or whatever. Like, dude, man, that's white, man.
But a Mexican is a Spaniard. They came from
Edomite. It's an Edomite. Edomite.
Let's take it to the room. These are the Inca emperors. These are Inca emperors. Now, do they look like these mestizos or any of this? No, these are Negroes, man. These are emperors. Ruling. See how people been lied to, man. And you know what they do, Zach? They take these kind of photos of these ancient artifacts and they whitenize them.
Can you zoom in some?
No, it's not going to get any bigger than that. It's as big as it's going to go.
Yeah, Shemaiah on the chat said they whitewashed it. You got it right, Shemaiah.
Yeah, they whitewash them. Here they go, close up.
Yeah, oh, that's good.
These are Inca emperors. Yeah, they whitenize a lot of them, man.
Yeah, let me go ahead and read that for the audience right quick.
What's that?
So I'm gonna read that for the audience because someone in there talking about some in the 1800s, we were already in slavery in the Americas. So we're just gonna go ahead and squash some of that. A panel from the painting in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru, depicting the Inca emperors. This panel shows the last 7 Inca emperors and the subsequent first European emperor of the Inca, Holy Roman Emperor Charles V or Carlos V, as the 15th Inca emperor. The painting can be dated circa 1800s because the last 2 entries are Carlos III Charles III as the 24th Inca emperor and his son Carlos IV or Charles IV, House of Bourbon, as the 25th Inca emperor. Charles IV reigned as king of Spain from December 14, 1788 to March 19, 1808. Abdicated in favor of his son Ferdinand VII.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember.
Now this is white noise. Now this is the original king right here. See what Esau does? Look at that. That's supposed to represent him. Now this is the original artifact. Look what they done. See that? This is what you come from. This is what you come from, Hispanics. You trying to steal our history, man. They should be charged with identity theft for this. They took this image of the true king. Look at his crown and all that over here. And they created this garbage over here. You see that? Jake needs to wake the hell up, man. Wake up, Jake. Wake up, Jake. Same thing they done over here. Now, this is chores right here. They don't whitenize it over here. Trying to make him look like a so-called Hispanic or mestizo or mulatto or something like that. This is what the man looked like. This is the original artifacts. So you can't pull that stuff with Taza Dark, man. I go deep. Another white-nized picture right here. You see, this has been white-nized. They trying to make a little Hispanic. False white-nized version of the last Inca emperor. See that?
She look like a damn Elam Indian, East Indian.
At the Brooklyn Museum in New York. She's gonna whitenize this, man. But we got you, man. We do our research. This is an indigenous warrior right here from Costa Rica. Do they look like this today? Hell no. As you see, this is a damn Negro right here. So you Israelites talking about these people from these places, and you calling us RBG, We're not RBG. We're just truth speakers. This is what our people look like. They were Negroes. The 12 tribes of Negroes always have been, always will be. So when did the Spanish begin to write blacks out of history? Appears answered by the range of Joseph Napoleon Bonaparte, 1768 to 1844. He was the elder brother of Napoleon Bonaparte, who made him king of Naples and Sicily, and later king of Spain, 1808 to 1813, as Jose the First. Why the hell you Hispanics think you get your names? You Mexicans, where do you think you got your name? You got it from the Spanish and the French.
My name is Jose.
Hey, for real, growing up in New York City, you had to take a second language in middle school and high school, and they would distinctly teach you that there's a difference between Latin American Spanish and Spain Spanish, and you had to learn both.
Okay. Latin American Spanish is considered to be Ebonics, that they laugh at us. Now, this is what Napoleon, see how he knocked the nose off of the Sphinx, trying to destroy history. Didn't want people to know that this was so-called black man. This is all this when they try and start to write us out of history, all so-called black people. The Most High done put the spirit on us to tell the truth, man. It's 1761 right here. Broke American. What do you see here? These are so-called blacks. Whenever they talk about Indians, what do you see? You see a Negro. Because we are the true indigenous people. You don't see no more bite here. There you go. See the indigenous population. See the guys in the damn cotton fields? That's what they look like today. These are our sisters in Peru. See how dark they are? She look like Chenny Parker. Can't get no damn darker. That's Peru. See the styles? See how they dress? Who steals that style? Who dressed like that now? Sombrero. That's our people right there, man. These are the Israelites. See that? Look how dark she is. I hate her. They wouldn't accept her as one of their. They wouldn't accept her as one of their, man. And she looked like she might have some admixture in them with her. Like those Moabites came down and mixed in. That's why people sort of slanted eyes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. She got a little sound, a big nose.
Come on. They came down. This been white knives right here. And see, they don't white knives this. This goes back from 1468 to 1520.
But you can still see them Negro features in it.
Come on. They trying to make it lighter, man, so they could call it so-called Hispanic or something. See, these are the original inhabitants, man, of Paraguay. See that? Now, what do we call these? Indians and Native Americans. Can't you see that Negroes, man? You can't see that? Don't pretend you can't see it. You see it. See the fringes on that, Zara? See the fringes?
Absolutely.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. He got the fringes on and everything right there.
And you can actually pronounce that top word. That's like ancient Hebrew pronunciation right there. Barak, Varaya.
It's a Negro. Wow. 12 tribes of Negroes only, man. Can't make this stuff up, man. He was a general of Portuguese colony of Brazil. he served with dictation against the Dutch forces for control of Brazil. It's called Negro, man. You want to read that right there?
Con. The portrait on the cover of this book was painted and signed in 1599, but it appears as fresh and startling today as it must have looked some 400 years ago. At the center of this coffee-colored man with a Shakespearean goatee and a penetrating gaze, the light brown eyes and what appeared to be the streaks of gray hair suggest the wisdom of an elder and pride of an accomplished warrior.
Let's talk about those three Incas that we were showing earlier. I'll show them to you again.
About 1545, another Lima-bound ship had become stranded on the same stretch of coast, perhaps closer this time to Mangrove Point at the Atacames, and surviving slaves made a similar dash to freedom. Among them was the African Andres Mengache and his Nicaraguan female companion, enslaved in Spain in the Spain conquest of her Central American homeland. There, near San Mateo Bay, they raised two sons, Juan and Francisco. Francisco took the name Arobe, and it was he, an Afro Meridian, not a mulatto, who commands the center of Sanchez Golke's great painting.
What are they talking about right here? That's what they was talking about right there. See, here we go again. More admixture. See that? Spaniards and Indian produce mestizos. You see what I'm saying? This is where so-called Mexicans come from. You understand what I'm saying? There's no race as Mexican. They're mestizos. Spanish and Indians produce mestizos. The true, keep in mind the true indigenous people are Negroes. Juan Rodriguez, 1715. Note that the Indian is a so-called black woman, not a Mongoloid. You get that? See that? They call her Indian. That's a so-called Negro, man. They're real Israelites. You see what I'm saying? She's not a Mongoloid. She's not one of the ones from Asians. I can't make this up, man. This is the history you guys don't know a damn thing about, man. And it angers you when it comes out. And you're still going to have so-called Israelites that want to reject it. Now, you can like it, understand it, believe it or not, those children are Edomites. They tortured him by hanging a hook in through his rib. See how people been left there to die? They were so ruthless, they took heads and left them on stakes. Torture. Someone's gonna pay for this, man.
God.
They would dance around, man, to relieve some of their harsh, cruel punishment that they was undergoing. That's a maroon right there on the left. The modern maroons are on the right. As you see, the indigenous population was so-called Negroes, man. So they call these bush Negroes.
Wow. Says the chief of the Boss Jesmans, or the European called them bush Negroes, on a visit to the governor of Paramaribo, or Wakas, or the Caribbean Indians at Suriname, 1820.
Hey, uh, this guy right here in the chat. What's his name? Malak.
Yeah, he don't pay him any mind right now. He needs to continue to be edified.
Yeah, I can't see anything in the chat right now. Anyways, yeah, let's just keep going on right now, man.
All right, so this picture right here says Brazilian police bar black immigrants on federal bridge connecting Brazil to Peru. What sense does that make? And they're indigenous to the land.
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked.
Now this is recent, man. This is recent when they was booing doctors that was actually going over there to help these people. The so-called Edomite Brazilians was calling the doctors slaves. About 6 doctors went over there. Can you read that? The black Cuban doctors.
Con, black Cuban doctor Juan Delgado arrives at Fortaleza, Brazil, as part of the Mais Médicos, or More Doctors, program by the federal government. It was noticed that on that one airplane, there were more black doctors than all of Brazil's history. The black doctors were welcomed by boos and chants of escravos, or slaves, by some of Brazil's albino and mulatto people.
See that? See that? So all these nations, they think the same, man. They know who they are, and they hate Jake. See, I told you it came from right over there where they are. It didn't start here. And this is about so-called black youth getting murdered over there in Brazil at an extremely alarming rate.
Says march to denounce the extermination of black youth in the state of Espírito Santo, Brazil, where the homicide rate of black youth is 364% higher than that of white youth. The sign says 93% of youth killed in the state of Espírito Santo are black. So it ain't just here in America. That's crazy. That is just utterly ridiculous. That stuff like that is still going on, man. I used to get briefs when traveling during my time in the service on, folks disappearing and, and staying in groups. It's still going on, man.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Goes to show you, man, we're different from them people. Them people are not the same people.
Yeah, they're not us. See, these are
I mean,
white
that's
guys.
the
See that admixture?
stupidest doctor.
Look at this. That admixture is right there. Look at the eyes. These are not our people, man. Jake needs to stop trying to make it up.
Exactly.
This is a true native, man. Paleo-American, man of South America. See, this is what the true indigenous people look like. They don't lie to Jake, man. Jake just going for it. See, these are true Paleo-Americans, man. South America right here. Understand? These are the true Paleo-Americans. This is what the true Indians look like. The indigenous people. Not what you see in John Wayne movies. Now, this is going into the Dominican. This is this sister right here. When she was a baby, that's her father right there. That's her today, modern day. See that? She's an Israelite and acknowledges herself as an Israelite. See that? That's her father right there.
Come on.
And a lot of these Dominicans, they have Jake's blood in them. But the problem is, a lot of them Most of them are descendants of Edomite men because again, the women got raped by those Edomites when they went there.
Con.
See, this guy right here, he's the one that brought their damn freedom to him. A so-called black man. These so-called Dominicans. And a Haitian revolutionary.
Con, his name is Toussaint L'Ouverture, the Haitian revolutionary and statesman who defeated both British and French armies.
See
Wow.
that?
That's
It's
worth
Jake
the
for
money. Con.
Now, these are the Afro-Dominicans right here. These are the rejects by those Spanish ones. Those descended of Spanish ones.
Con.
These are the rejects. There it is. Now, this is who the Mexicans come from. Hernan Cortez. They're his descendants.
Con.
And descendants of Israelites.
Hernan
Your father
Cortez.
right here.
Hernan Cortez de Monroy y Pizarro, first Marquess of the Valley of Oaxaca, as a Spanish conquistador who led an expedition that caused the fall of the Aztec Empire and
Now keep in mind, the Aztecs, we already showed you who they were. They were so-called Negroes. See, the Mexicans, they tell you they was Aztecs. You ain't no damn Aztec. You can never be a damn Aztec. These people destroyed for lack of knowledge, man.
caused the fall of the Aztec Empire and brought large portions of what is now mainland Mexico under the rule of the King of Castile in the early 16th century.
Mm-hmm. So like this, share it, subscribe it, get mad, throw your shoe at the stream. It's not going to change the truth. I know I'm upset, but hey, man, get over it. Get over it. Now, let's now. What about the so-called boricuas? Yeah, you know, last night I was talking a little bit about the people that. Hey, hold on, where's my screen? The people that refer to themselves as Dominicans and Mexicans. Now, I'm going to prove to you Israelites beyond the shadow of a doubt, and you will doubt, but it will go on beyond your shadow of a doubt that these people, these Hispanics that you have in your camps, unless they could prove that they are a Negro descent from a Negro father, that they're not our people. And they know they can't prove it, which is why they don't. Now, what about the Boricuas that you're calling the tribe of Ephraim? Well, I hate to bust your bubble, man, but you're not our people either. Most of you are Edomites. Now, the first people living in what they refer to today as Puerto Rico was Taino. Now, keep in mind at the beginning, the reason that I showed you these photos and these artifacts first to show you that the Tainos were Negroes. You saw it with your own eyes. I know you don't believe it, but they love, you had people out there like the about, oh, yeah, you're Taino? That guy don't know a damn thing, man. Most of these damn Israelites, you're lies, man. You're liars, and you don't, you twist, you fast talk people. The people don't, you drown them out. You don't give the people enough time to make their point. The Taínos, as we prove, are so-called Negroes. That Taínos are indigenous people who were actually Negroes. And they existed in the land long before Christopher Columbus came there. So the Taínos came from South America, as we saw. But they were primarily on the islands such as Puerto Rico. And you got them Israelites, yeah, you came from rich port. No, they weren't. They were Negroes. You understand? So you had the Taínos, you see the Spanish-looking people over there in Cuba. They were Taínos, man. Taínos was in islands like Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, where these Dominicans and Haitians are. Hispaniola is what they call the islands of the Dominican Republic and Haitian today. They were all so-called Negroes. They didn't have the straight hair like you see today. The people that you see today are admixtures. They are not a nation. Do you understand? You can't even call me a liar. Your damn mom don't know the history, so she couldn't teach you. Your father don't know the history, so they couldn't teach you. You could get Mel, and if I offended you, God darn it, I meant to. The truth. We'll straighten all of this out. The truth is going to end all of the racism. The truth will. So in 1492, with the arrival of the Spanish colonizers, they mixed mostly the Taino women, who were Negroes, being taken by force of these so-called white colonizers. And so what does that make their descendants, Zara? How come these Israelites can't figure this out?
They know they're Edomites. They
They're
know.
Edomites. That make their descendants Edomites. That make these people in your camps Edomites. Unless they can show you directly that they have a Negro father, guess what? They are Edomites. They're Edomites. They're of mixed origin. Puerto Rico. So tell me how are Israelites still saying that these people are our people when these people didn't even exist during biblical times? No, so I dare any of you to disprove what I'm saying right now. No so-called Hispanic ethnic group ever exists during biblical times. No, not one. Not one. It's not hate, it's the truth. So much later, the Tainos were dying as the colonizers had been using them as the slaves to obtain gold. Now, since the colonizers still wanted gold, of course, they brought in the black slaves as well from various parts of what you refer to as Africa, a couple of them. Now, keep in mind that the Taino looked just like the so-called black slaves. You understand? We saw it in the pictures. They didn't look like what you refer to as Latin today. No, Latin's a language. It's not a nationality. Latin's not a race. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's wrong? You don't like Dallas Doc anymore, mommy? What's wrong, Vato? You don't like the truth? What did they say? Suave. I'm not done with the truth yet. I'm not done with the truth yet. So, once again, they mix. Now, I'm talking about these people in Puerto Rico right now. They tell you that they're Taino. You ain't no damn Taino, man. You would have looked more like me. You're Edomite. J-Lo's an Edomite.
Edomite.
Fat Joe's a damn Edomite. He's not our people. And so once again, mixed resulted in our people who are often referred to as what? Mestizos. What is a mestizo? A mestizo is an admixture of a so-called white person and an indigenous person. You understand? And keep in mind that true indigenous people were the Negroes. We went over that already. Then you have what is known as mulattoes. A mulatto is an admixture of a so-called white person and a black person. You understand? Then you have what is known as a Zambo. That's a so-called black person and a so-called indigenous person. Do you understand? Do you understand? And I wouldn't recommend using these terms because they was using these terms as derogatory terms when they created them. They were never used in a positive way. And so by the time Puerto Rico identified itself with various different people, all of these so-called ethnic groups. So this is where Puerto Rico came from. They came from the so-called whites, mixing with the indigenous population that created mestizos. Then the so-called whites mixing with, you refer to as blacks, create mulattoes, and the Zambos. So-called blacks mixing with the indigenous population. So the Taino Negroes, the Taino Indians were Negroes. So Israelites, you have to look up what the term Puerto Rican really means. They say, oh, rich port. I mean, the damn thing. The Tainos was there, and that was us, man. Because if you follow Spanish history, right? Watch this. Watch this. If you follow Spanish history, they want to be independent. I'm talking about Spain. I'm talking about so-called white Edomites now. They always wanted to be independent from the regions. See, it's a form of rebellion. Same thing with Puerto Rico, right? You have people that both parents were from Spain. They were straight up Edomites. You understand? But they still call them Puerto Ricos because the people back in Spain didn't want them back over there. Don't believe me? Go and check out the history for yourself. So you had certain people that deemed themselves Puerto Ricans and both parents were Edomites. Do you understand? They didn't want them back in Spain. Spain, stop me where I'm lying at. Spain was treating its colonies like this. They stopped identifying these people as Spaniards, and they now became known as Puerto Ricans, which are many of the descendants over there, straight up Edomites. This is why you look like you look. This is why you don't like Jake, man, because deep down inside you know who you are. You got them in your camps. Oh, yo, they're struggling just like us. Well, I don't give a damn. I don't have a damn thing to do with how Esau treat them. Just be treating Esau. So when they fought for Puerto Rico's independence from Spain, it was actually granted. Then the invasion happened. So to be a Puerto Rican back in those times meant that you were no longer Spanish, a Spaniard. You understand? So, and so-called African or a Taino, if you stand among these people, even if you're a so-called white man or white woman, they considered you to be a Puerto Rican. So the native indigenous population already in the island called the Taino plus the Spanish. And history points that Christopher Columbus and his crew of mixed Europeans and African slaves. So the story is not different from that. The Spanish reached Hispaniola, which is actually the Dominican Republic and Haiti today. Or Mexico, same thing, same story. Hernan Cortez done the same thing in what you refer to as Mexico. People that's calling themselves, oh, yeah, we're indigenous to the land. No, you're not. Taino people was there, which was Negroes. Aztecs was there, which was Negroes. Mayans was there, which was Negroes. Look at the statues in Mexico. How in the hell you think they got there? We leave traces of everything that we do behind, man. So Hernan Cortez and those people that came in, they conquered and traded with the natives. And then they exposed them to make them slaves. And then they spread their religion all around, making you Christians. That's why you damn Hispanics love Roman Catholicism. Your conquerors made you that way. So unless you can prove otherwise, to me, that these people have Negroes fathers, all you damn Israelites are hypocrites, and the people in your camps are Edomites. Now the people here, again, Let's go back to the Dominican Republic. Sammy Sosa hated his black skin so much, he bleached himself and trying to make his damn self look like a snowman. And today he looks like hell. Dominican Republic is on the island of Hispaniola, which it shares with Haiti. Yeah, the people here, they're on the opposite side of the island, like I said last night. They face each other across this body of land for 360 years. And the two countries, they're at contrast. Haiti was colonized again by the French. Dominicans was colonized by the Spanish, which is why you speak that language. That is not your damn language. That is the language of the colonizer. Let me educate you. In Haiti, people speak the Creole. In the Dominican Republic, they speak Spanish from the Spaniards. In Haiti, the national sport, as I stated previously, was soccer. You understand? They love baseball in the Dominican Republic. In Haiti, the national religion was what? Voodoo and Roman Catholicism. You're dealing with an Edomite nation, you know it's going to be Catholicism in there somewhere. In the Dominican Republic, you know what they like to do, Zara? They like to blame the damn Haitians for voodoo and say they created it when it came from Esau. Esau bought that thing.
Con. They know that.
Esau bought that thing.
Because they copy Esau too. With their little witchcraft on their side of the island.
Con. It's Roman Catholicism. Now, on the Haitian side of the Masquerade River, which divides these two countries, when it's 7 a.m., it is 8 a.m. on the Dominican Republic side. Same kind of thing Esau got going here, man. You go from Arizona to Vegas, the damn time changed at a different time of the year. Sometimes in the year, if you go from Vegas to Arizona, the time don't change. But sometimes it's an hour off. Just like here in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So Hispaniola is an island divided by two people who to some extent have shaped their identities totally opposite to each other. Now, how in the hell can Dominicans hate these people when you came from African people? Don't you understand that you're descendants of African women that was raped by Spanish men? No, you don't understand. Because if you did, you would honor your mothers. The Dominican Republic is the only country in the New World that celebrates its independence from another American country, because for Dominicans, the separation from Haiti in 1844 is their Independence Day. You understand? Then they discriminated against the people. So between 1822 and 1824, Haiti occupied Dominican end of the island. Do you understand? Now they hate the people from Haiti. You understand? They have a very complex past. Very few people in the damn Dominican Republic, although they descend from black mothers, very few of them identify with their blackness, with being a Negro. But 82% in a federal census designate their race to be India. I-N-D-A. Someone want to look that up? See what that term means? 82% of them said that. They don't want to be black. They don't want to be Negro, while only 4.13% designated themselves as black. Only 4%. They came from Negro mothers.
Only
Only 4%, man. I would like to know why. What the hell's you guys' problem, man? See, after Christopher Columbus stopped in the Bahamas, the northern end of Hispaniola was his first step. His ship landed there in 1492. It had already been a melting pot of Europeans, Africans, and native people. Now, who did we say the native people were? They were Negroes just like us. Africans, so-called Negroes, at least black skin, which you refer to as black. So what the hell must you be, man? If you can't show, you're Edomites. You definitely got so-called black blood in you from your mother, but they raped them women, man, and they produced you. You're Edomites. You're not our people either, unless you could prove that you were Jake. Do you understand? And this goes for all the damn tribes. The same damn thing goes for every damn tribe on that 12 tribes chart. These people are Edomites, man. Prove me wrong. Prove different. You can't. Go and create a damn fairy tale story like you've been doing. You can't get them out of this. You can't get these nations out of this, man. This is the truth hour. They don't want to relate to that black past on their mother's side. Doesn't matter. Because according to the Most High, you're not a Jake anyways. Santo Domingo, your capital city, was founded in 1496 by Christopher Columbus' older brother, Bartholomew. He was the first prominent European settlement anywhere in the New World. Columbus had actually created a small fort at La Isabela on his first voyage in what they refer to as the New World. You understand? When he got back, what happened? All of his inhabitants was dead. All of the inhabitants were dead. And it was also the first city in the Americas to import slaves from Africa. First damn city. The first boatload arrived just 10 years after Columbus in 1502. Do you understand? These colonists did this. You had millions of Africans, or what they refer to as Africans, taken from that continent, brought to the so-called New World. And these traders, they call Santo Domingo the gateway to the Caribbean. They should have called it the damn gateway to slavery. Santo Domingo, they love that. The Dominicans, they love to elevate that. But it has a Spanish flair. It's architectural. It's mimicking Spain. Do you understand? Now, let me ask you this. Yashabin, why would a damn so-called Hispanic country have a statue of Columbus pointing in their most important area, their conqueror? Why would they have it there?
It's as a reminder, as all of them are.
Yeah, there's an imposing statue of Columbus there, pointing his finger towards the damn horizon. Again, why would a place like that? They dictated it. I mean, they dedicated it to Columbus. It's not like they don't want it there.
Pointing to Spain, huh?
Pointing to the horizon. I guess they're pointing to Spain. Why would they have a damn statue of the Europeans that colonized it? It doesn't make any damn sense. Understand, they're supposed to be a so-called free country, man. Why would you have a statue of someone that colonized you there? That shows you simple as hell. Simple as hell. You got a damn statue of your colonizer. Don't you see what Jake's been doing? Jake pulled that damn racist ass statue down on Robert E. Lee. And they should have pulled it down. See, that's revolution right there, man. You praising a damn statue of your colonizer. Because those boys, they know that that's their people, man. And if you ask them, is there any monuments of your so-called black heroes in this quasi-Spanish square? Let me hit you something, man. In the United States, a lot of you guys, you celebrate these European ancestors also. When you go out and you do the damn 4th of July, you're celebrating the so-called people, the European conquerors, man. That's what you're doing. Every time you celebrate the 4th of July, every time you celebrate these hell of a days, you're praising the European conquerors, man, just like these people over there. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Most of you so-called African Americans, man, you participate and you ask them, well, I don't do it for that reason. I just do it because that's what my parents did. No, you're honoring your damn conquerors, you barred brain. I don't do it for that. Now I'm gonna hit you something, man. There's a statue over there in the Dominican Republic of one of the great leaders of the maroon slaves in the 16th century. But it's not positioned in the center square. Why? He's trying to bring your ass to freedom. But you're going to put the damn statue of your conqueror in that damn square. I'm not being racist, man. I'm teaching the ignorant about the black enterprise in Latin America. I'm just simply asking them about their blackness in the Dominican Republic. If you ask any so-called Dominican about their blackness in the Dominican Republic, you know what they tell you? We're not black, we're Dominicans. We're not black, we're India. INDIA. You understand? They won't make reference to their skin. They just keep echoing the myth about the extent of their genetic descent from the islanders of the indigenous inhabitants, not knowing damn well that the indigenous people were what? The Tainos were Negroes.
Oh.
And when you trace it, they don't even have a lot of Taino blood in them. Because I've done research on it. They got mostly Edomites. And they got mostly a so-called black woman's blood in them. They wasn't letting Jake men get with their women. They didn't bring any damn women there. So the woman that Jake had sex with, we was reproducing ourselves. You understand? But when they put their Caucasus Mountain blood in them, they produce you, man. You're not our people, man. And you Israelites, you can't get it. You'll never get it. So anyone who isn't white, whether the person was highly tan, medium, brown, or dark brown, they self-identified as Indio. Do you understand? Trying to say they was, I'm part of the indigenous population, showing you they don't know a damn thing about the indigenous population because they were Negroes. So who's Negro over there? They'll say, oh, well, yeah, the Haitians, they Negro slaves. See those people were chanting when they was coming into Brazil?
Yeah.
But what if you applied the same measure that Esau uses in the United States? If you got one drop of Negro blood, guess what? You a damn Negro, according to Esau. That's how much they hate you, man. If you apply that same thing to the Dominican ancestry, what would that make you be? You're not properly educated, man. You're nothing but misdirected mulattoes. The book of you. See, when the Spanish and the French conquered these people, they sent all men, exclusively men. And so therefore their descendants gotta be Edomites, man. I don't care how dark they are. And so any of these people, this is what I'm saying to you Israelites, man. In love. I'm saying any of these people that can't prove to you that they have a Negro father, guess what they are? They're Edomites. If I offended you, I meant to. Because the Dominican Republic was born a Spanish colony. Santo Domingo. And it became what? A melting pot for Eurocentrism. What do they identify that? The Spanish as Catholic and white. When you look at the mitochondria DNA, and if you know anything about mitochondria DNA, that's dealing with the mother's DNA. When you look at the mitochondria DNA, 85% of its residents were from so-called black women. So what does it make these damn people? It makes them Spanish. No damn wonder you said some of the Spanish are really dark. They're the ravished out people, man. But at the end of the day, they're still Edomite. I can't make it up, man. Go into some research on it yourself. 85% of the mitochondria DNA have African ancestry. Only 9.4% have Indians, yet they claim to be Taino. How in the hell is that possible if only 9.4% of you are Taino?
They're a fraud. It is not possible.
And less than 0.8% are European. You know what that means? 0.8% of European women was dead. So what the hell must these people be? This is dealing with the mitochondria DNA, the DNA of the women. You only had 0.84% of so-called white women there. What are they then? They're descendants of the men.
Con.
I can't make it up, man. I can't make this up, man. So this explains clean like linen why they attacking brothers and sisters in Harlem and Chicago. And this goes for all the so-called Hispanic nations. You Israelites, you need to hear me, man. Do you understand? Now, when you deal with the Y DNA, which is the male, there was only 1%. You hear me, Yashabin? There's only 1% that descends from the Indian male. 1%, yet they claim they're Indio. You a damn lie. You don't even know your damn history. And I dare any of you to go and check this out, man. You're nothing but damn Edomites. This is why you treat us like you do, man. You can't get around this, man. Go and check it out for your damn self.
Con.
You ain't no damn Taino. It shows only 1% of you over there had the Y
You an
DNA.
Edomite.
Con. You
You're
got
an Edomite.
36% from the so-called African male. 36%. And the remainder of them is what? Edomites. So what does that make? About 73% of the people over there are descendants of Edomites.
Edom.
And if you had mixed with the 36% that came from the so-called African male, you would still look like a Negro. You understand what I'm saying? Because you primarily just had the Negro woman over there until they reproduced and they produced the woman that you see over there today that flaunts herself as an Edomite and really is. This is all admixture, man. Now, how the hell is this possible? Yet the average person, if you only got 1% that came from the Y-DNA of an indigenous man, how in the hell are these people claiming themselves to be India? Is because you don't know your damn history, and you need to shut the hell up.
God.
So in other words, what I'm saying to you, you Dominicans, you Hispanics, you Peruvians, name it, you Argentinians, all you people on that damn sign that these lying Israelites have on that sign, take them down and put Negro only, because that's what it is. So in other words, this country acknowledges its indigenous past, but not its African heritage, when you don't even only have a damn indigenous past. Most of the indigenous people were wiped out when you came into existence. So you was dealing with slaves that was brought from Africans. A lot of you, man, you understand why you don't follow the laws now, man, because it's not in your spirit. It's not in your spirit to do so, because you're not our people, man. This is racism and hate, man. And the reason you hate us, you're attacking us, because you got your carcass mountain blood running through your veins, making you cold.
Idumea.
You hate your blackness. Then you deal with Jose and the boys, Mexicans.
Miguel.
You're nothing but a so-called Native American Mongolian admixture in Hernan Cortez.
Con.
Stop me where I'm lying at. Stop me where I'm lying at, Octavius. Most Mexicans are mestizos, which means they have both European and not truly indigenous blood, but they have Native American Mongolian blood. That's their ancestry.
Con.
What are you telling the so-called white man to go home when you came from him? You don't know your history, man. What the hell are you talking about when Hernan Cortez went to Mexico? When he went there, he found the Incas, who were so-called black people. He found the Mayans, who was, look at the statues in your country. Go inside those damn caves and look on there. You'll see what you call mayetes.
Maete. Maete.
What a vato, go and check it out and say. What a lay. I think you better check it out, eh? I'm telling you the truth, vato. What's wrong? You don't like me and say? Stop listening to the oldies.
Now you got to talk Negro type now. They don't talk like that no more. Now they want to talk like us.
They love listening to those oldies, man. The oldies but good. They love our music. They love everything, man. So at the end of the day, my friend, none of you are a nationality or a race. You're an ethnic group. You are an admixture. And this is not racism. This is edification for your nation. Out of a nation. So most of you're just Native Americans and Europeans. You can trace that back to Central Asia. This is why your eyes are slanted like Chinese. Those are your people. Those are your forefathers. That's your point of origin. I can't make this up, man. I'm not teaching hate, man. I'm teaching love. I'm giving you love. I'm teaching you what your mother didn't teach you, what your father didn't teach you, what your grandfather didn't teach you. I'm giving you love. And I'm unteaching you the lies that the Israelites has taught you. These Negroes out here with Bibles that's calling themselves Israelites, but they're nothing but Christians.
Con.
See, some Central Asians migrated northeast into Siberia and eventually into the Americans, where their descendants became known as Native Americans. They're not, notice they're native, but they're not indigenous. I'm an indigenous American. You want to say it? And I'm the true indigenous man. Then you have other Central Asians joined together linguistically as Indo-Europeans migrated westward into Europe. Some of their descendants migrated to the Western Hemisphere over the last 5 centuries. Most Mexicans are a mixture of these two people. You're not even a true native, buddy. You're not even a true native, buddy. It should be pointed out here that identifying the origin of a group of people is somewhat subjective. If we go back far enough, we are all descendants from what? Our Kabbalah, which you refer to as Africa, right? Ain't no damn such thing. Ain't no such damn thing as the Middle East. Let's just say East, because Esau created that later. Ain't no damn such thing as the Middle East. See, when Spain traveled across the Atlantic and colonized most of the Americas, they were almost exclusively men, making you what? Descendants of the Spanish. Hello. That's why your spirit mixed with heads. That's why the cops join on with you. They know who you are. You just don't know who you are. Come on, Op. Wake up, Op. Wake up, Op. Do you understand? Ain't no damn Edomites is traveling with women on their ship. They know they're going to rape these women when they got here, and that's what they did. They was having their way with the women. It was very rare for a Spanish woman to travel with the conquistadors. Go and check out the damn history. Prove what I'm saying wrong. You can't. So naturally, the conquistadors sought relations with the women that was available. They ravished the true indigenous women and the so-called black women brought from Africa. So Native American women, most of the time, sometimes it was consensual, but for the most part, they was raping these women. A lot of these Native American women ended up marrying the Spanish men. This is why your eyes are slanted. Miguel, you understand? This is why your eyes are slanted. It's just the truth, man. You should think, matter of fact, you should be paying me for this history lesson. You should be paying me for it. This is what you can't learn in history class, and you damn sure can't learn it in Mexico.
Got to pay GOCC, got to pay Recall $50 a month for their Hebrew Academy, and he going to teach you lies.
Yeah, so as a result, most Mexicans and many other groups from Central and South America have a heavy mixture of Iberian and Native American ancestry. And when I say Native Americans, I'm talking about Chinese. Do you understand? You could just find a small amount of so-called Israelite, or as you say, African admixture in these populations. They're not our people. And that's only because of the slaves that were sent over here and mixed with the natives. Do you understand? These are not our people, man. And you can like it, understand it, believe it or not. But this is where the Hispanics and Mexicans came from. So don't you ever tell a so-called black person to go back to Africa. Because if we told you to go back, where in the hell would you go? When you're not native anywhere on the planet. You're an admixture. The so-called white man was here before you. Now you can like that, understand it, believe it or not, man. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, and you can't handle the truth.
Uh-oh.
It's the truth, man. Don't cry, man. Go and get cerveza, like you typically do, man. Till you falling all over the damn place.
Every time some stuff happen in these camps that either breaks up the camp, a lot of people leave. It's usually a so-called Northern Kingdom person that instigates something. Yeah, especially over there at IUIC, it's happening all the time. And Nathaniel, he points it out all the time. Like it's always these so-called Dominicans of Puerto Ricans. The Northern Kingdom is always does something to break up something. Well, that's because they're not Israelites.
Right.
That's why.
This guy,
They know that.
He's blocked. Who the hell is he? If you're blocked, that means you deserve to be blocked. That means you've done something in here that was wicked. You don't tolerate any kind of foolishness on any level. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. I'm gonna put the link in the room and see who wants to say what. Step right on up. You're the first contestant on the Israelites. All right. Come on down. You're the first contestants on the Israelites. All right.
That's wicked, Well, get on here and tell us why it's wicked.
Drake, you said that we're on a war path. No, it's not war.
We're not on a war path. We're telling the truth, man. And if you can't handle the truth, Drake, see ya, and I wouldn't want to be. You don't handle the truth, man. You're welcome to leave. If you want to stay, Drake, if you want to hear the truth, stay. If you want to continue to lie, it's not the channel for you.
Malak.
Not the place for you, man. This is a truth hour. This is a truth show. And the truth will make you mad and then make you free. You hear that, Roy boy?
Come on, Malak.
We're giving you the truth, man. We're giving you your truth, Roy boy. Yeah, I know you don't like it, man. It's truth.
No, you're telling.
Let's get that precept in Hebrews, man, the 4th chapter. When it says the truth cuts to the bone marrow. So what we doing, man?
We're supposed to be brothers.
If anyone,
we're supposed to be brothers.
Supposedly.
Man, that's a lie for doggone boys in the menace to society, man. When dude about to get jacked for his rims.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's not reality.
Connection. I challenge anyone to show me the connection. The only way that you're my brother, if you got a Negro father. Like that sister, that Dominican sister that I showed you in the video.
You ain't blocked, man. Get on here, man. Click that doggone link. You ain't blocked. Quit faking the phone. You just want to
if they do, I'm not unblocking. Listen, man, if I block someone, it's always for a reason. You understand? And me, once you cross me, is no going back. Once you cross me, I don't trust you anymore. Because really, man, I'm a good dude, man. And if someone crossed me, it's not really justified. So he said something, man, that was kind of real flaky or whatever. Richard, what you got, King?
I'm just listening, man. Learning.
Stephen Williams, come on in the room. Stephen Williams, come in the room and talk that talk, man. Tell us about that bad experience that you had with that woman of the other nations that you thought was an Israelite. Come and talk that talk, Stephen. Talk that talk. What did she tell you? She admitted to Stephen. The Edomite in there. Talk that talk, Stephen.
Oh, boy, Stephen.
Wait. What's wrong, man? Y'all don't like Tyler Doc anymore, man? Go ahead, Stephen, man. What you got, King?
Shalom, brother. You hear me?
Yeah, kind of loud and clear, man.
And my name is, first of all, my name is Priest Malaki Allah. I don't know this Stephen guy. But yeah, that's my government. I need to change it legally. Whole nother story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what's showing up in the chat room. You know what I mean?
No, I know, because I got different pages.
Yeah.
Let me say this. You know what I'm saying? Because I went on the other brother's page, and I'm always gonna maintain that the original Native Americans are Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The indigenous people. Somebody will say they're Hamites. I'm not dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? All the artifacts found in America was not from the Mongoloids. It was from the Negro, the Negro Israelites. The Negroes are indigenous. I would never listen to that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why I have a discrepancy on that. Because I come from the so-called what you call indigenous people. My father is a Muskogee Creek, and my mother is a Choctaw. You know, and we look African looking because that's what Israel looked like. We are Negroes. We went into slavery. We was on the field with the Negroes from Africa and everything. The white man could not tell the difference between us and the people from Africa. And we're known as the first migration from Africa because we know that the so-called Middle East is really what you call today as Africa. So yeah, we had the same practices as someone from West Africa because we're the same people. We are the Northern Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? After that, later on, those Mongoloids came through, and they hijacked our culture, and they started wearing feathers and all this other stuff, and trying to wear fringes and all that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that you got one group of Mongoloids and another group of Hamites. That's not scripture.
Right.
The Northern Kingdom was the black people, and some of them came to America. Some of them went to Africa. Some of them went to Asia. Some of them went back to Israel. But I am a descendant of the Olmecs, which the Olmecs, when you look it up in the Hebrew, the word Olmecs go back to the word she. That word she is a Hebrew word, meaning it basically means salvation. Olmec means she. That's the real name. The Olmecs are Israelites. Braids were worn by the Israelites, not Hamites. Hamites don't wear braids. No another nation wears that but the Israelites. The word braid, lock, the word fringes, it's the same word. Nobody's gonna sit there and tell me I'm a damn Hamite, man. Because I have nothing to do with those people. I am the Native American. I am the indigenous one. The real ones. I ain't no damn chink. You know what I'm saying? The ones who was walking around the plate and the lips, it wasn't us, it was those damn chinks who followed after what? They followed after the Hamites. All these other nations wear that damn plate and that lip. Israel never wore that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna tell me I ain't no damn. That's why I get into it. He tries to say, oh, the indigenous people are Hamites. Brother, make up your mind. Are they Hamites or are they Asians, brother? That's why I don't agree with that, man. The Northern Kingdom did come to America, but they went to other places. America was one stop. Africa was another stop. Israel was another stop. This Israelites in India from Northern Kingdom. Everybody was scattered, brother.
Thank you.
So to come in and tell me that if I'm indigenous to this land, I'm a Hamite? Nah, get out of here. My forefathers were the ones who spoke Hebrew here. When James Adair came here, it was my forefathers who he found. When he said this, people were saying Yahweh and Yehovah and all that, it was my forefathers. It was not those chinks. Bruce Lee and all those guys. It wasn't them. So I contest that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Not from you. I am a Northern Kingdom, brother. I am a remnant of the Northern Kingdom that came over here. The real ones are black ones. And they got documents showing that they were black. All 12 tribes were black, brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me I'm not an Israelite. Some brothers try to tell me I'm a Hamite. Brother, I came from Alabama, brother, and I was in slavery. How the hell am I a Hamite? Where a Hamite came to Alabama, brother? Show me that in the Bible.
You spoke for me. I don't have to say nothing no more.
Yeah, they want them.
That's madness, brother. That's foolishness. Hamite from Alabama, right, brother? A Hamite from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, right? A Creek Hamite, right? No, brother. They going too far with it, brother. They going too far with it. That's why I don't agree with everything certain brothers say.
They're making it up.
You know what I'm saying?
As they go,
I ain't no Hamite.
But they can't bring actual facts, man, and truth. They're making it up.
because they
Hey,
want to
no, but you know what's messed up?
manipulate.
The light skinned one, yeah, the Mongoloids is different. But the
They
original
want to make them
Native
Israelites.
Americans, the Native Americans, or should I say the indigenous people that came here, was a remnant of the Northern Kingdom. But they didn't just come here, they went to Africa, they went to other places. But the Northern Kingdom that came over here, hey, brother, you ever heard about Ivan Van Serta? Ivan
Yeah,
Van Serta.
No,
I have that
You know
book.
what he said? You know
I
what
have
he
that.
said, right? You know what he said? He said the Native Americans, he said the indigenous people, he said Africans, because he's talking about us.
Right.
Or he said that they came between 600 and 900 AD. He didn't quite give a date. But you know what the real date was? 722 BC. There's Native Americans right now, black Native Americans, that their family told them that they were from the Northern Kingdom. They told them that. I remember I met this dude who he said that his family talked about they went to Assyria and then they came over and they came over here. And this is a black Native American. He said that the white Native Americans were the slave masters. The Chinese were the slave masters. It was the Chinese and the white Americans mixed together and they had slaves, brother. They had slaves of the real Native Americans, brother. We are Negroes, brother. We were in slavery with the regular Negro. What was it? Cotton fields. The cotton fields were the Negroes from Africa. The what do you call it? The rice fields were the Native Americans. They said the white man could not tell the difference, brother. If the black people ran to Native Americans and blended in, brother, what do you think the Native Americans looked like?
Okay. I mean,
They didn't look like.
they was calling a lot of these so-called black people natives, and so what they was doing is they was taking them from here and selling them to Central and South America. They classified them, they reclassified them as so-called Negroes, and they sold them to Central and South America. From here.
You know that 90% of black, 85 to 90% of black Americans are actually indigenous. So if you try to say that they're Hamites, brother, I guess we all must be Hamites then. Because the majority of us over here in the United States, so-called United States, are of indigenous descent. Brother, 5% of the African slaves, so-called African slaves, went to the United States. 34% went to Brazil. Because Brazil is of Yoruba ancestry. And we know that Yoruba, you look it up, it comes from the Benin tribe. The Benin tribe, like the Babylon Timbuktu tells you, Benin means Ben Ephraim, meaning sons of Ephraim. The Yoruba is actually Ephraimites. They're the real Ephraimites, not Puerto Ricans, unless they come from Yoruba ancestry. The Yoruba, even the name Yoruba, you can tell that's an Israelite name. Ya-Ra-Ba. That's Israelite name. That's not a Hamitic name. But the Yoruba know they're Israelite. You know what they say? They say that they came from the Middle East to Nigeria, 7th century AD. That may not be 100% accurate, but you can clearly see that they know that they come out of that land. They just don't have the exact date. The Yoruba claim to be sons of Ephraim. They claim it. So this is a lot of BS, brother. And by the way, when you look at something Mighty Hebrew put up with Angola, you ever notice that in Angola, those people, indigenous people, got feathers on their head? They look like Native Americans, but they black. They got the straight nose, straight lips, but they have feathers on their head and all that. Why do they have feathers, brother? Because they Northern Kingdom. Because Gad was known for that, with feathers on their head. So you got people in Angola. As a matter of fact, I saw something, brother. I really wish I can get it. I'm trying to look for the brother right now. He had a document showing that Nelson Mandela was a Native American. He was of Native American descent. He showed that he was Northern Kingdom. They called him a Native American black. Nelson Mandela is known to be as a Northern Kingdom Israelite, like a Gadite and Reubenite. He said apartheid in South Africa is basically Northern Kingdom. Because the Northern Kingdom in Africa are known as the Bantu. And they be wearing feathers. They get the straight nose, straight lips, and everything. I remember that, brother. I wish I can. It was so many years ago where it showed Nelson Mandela as a Native American, brother. It showed that he comes from the same bloodline. Because when the Northern Kingdom came to America, some of them got dropped up in South Africa, brother. I'm just trying to find it, brother, because that's so. You know what I'm saying? That really needs to be brung out. It's crazy,
Con,
brother. They were saying that the
con.
Northern Kingdom went to like South Africa, Botswana, places like that. We're not just in America, brother.
No,
We
con.
in China, we in
We
India.
scattered across the four corners of the earth.
Brother, it's 9 tribes out of 12, brother. We're gonna be the majority if you know the kingdom. But in
No.
Angola, as a matter of fact, the first slaves that came to Jamestown, Virginia, which we know that wasn't the first slaves, but I'm saying the so-called first slaves, 1619, they were from Angola, brother. Angola is known to be Northern Kingdom, straight up. So the Northern Kingdom has always been the first ones to go into captivity because they were the wickedest ones out of the two. Northern Kingdom has been known to be in captivity first. So the first slaves that came over here was Northern Kingdom. Look at it this way, Nas, you know what I'm saying, he's from Mississippi. His father's Mississippi. He is of Yoruba ancestry. The Yorubas is no Northern Kingdom, brother. The circle face, the oval head, he's Northern Kingdom, brother. He's an Ephraimite, brother. But we think he's Judah. That's why we really don't know what tribe you're from, brother. Because you could be a Northern Kingdom and think that you Judah, brother. Nas is not Judah. Nas is Yoruba, and he is a son of Ephraim. When they say sons of Ephraim, it means Northern Kingdom, because he could be another tribe. But Nas does have the Yoruba look to him. He has that oval shaped, egg shaped head. That's a Yoruba look. The Igbo, that's like Judah, Benjamin, Levi, or something like that. A lot of black Americans come from the Igbo. The Igbo. The word Igbo means Hebrew. That's what it means it's a corrupt way of saying it. So all this, that's why I don't deal with the 12 tribes. Even though somebody will say I'm from Gad or Reuben, we know that we've been scattered. We know they've been scattered. We've been all over the place. But I'll tell you this, brother.
Over.
Yeah, brother, you might think you're Judah, brother. You might be Issachar, brother. This is a map showing Issachar right next to Judah. You know, Issachar and Judah have the same mother and father. So how are these Chinese people? It's a known fact that Mexicans have Chinese descent. Brother, I've met some Mexicans, and I thought they were Chinese people, brother. And they tell me they're from Mexico, brother. I've met it so many times, brother. So many times I've met Mexican people who I thought they were Chinese, brother. You know why they look Chinese? Because they are Chinese. Or they might be Filipino. They might be Filipino. This is not a racist thing. This is not speaking against nobody. You be who you gotta be. If you're not Israel, you're definitely going to slavery. It's that simple. It's as simple as that. You can learn the laws in captivity. If another nation want to learn these laws, I'm gonna say, well, you need to clean my room and make my bed or something, shine my shoes or something. Then I'll teach you, because you are a subservient position. It's as simple as that, brother. Another nation can learn. Yeah, go ahead and learn in captivity. Simple as that. If you're not willing to go to captivity, I ain't telling you nothing. Get on a podcast or something and learn the scriptures. Because I can't deny nobody. I cannot deny nobody from learning the Bible. But you would never be equal to us. And that's what brothers try to do. GOCC, they bring these people in. You know what I'm saying? They try to make them equal to us. Bro. They'll never be equal, brother. Because they are not our people, and they're definitely, they're slaves. So if another nation want to learn anything in the scriptures, they're going to have to shine my shoes, brother. Wax on, wax off like you're doing Karate Kid. That's what you're going to have to do. Or you want to learn the scriptures? You clean my house, man. Clean my house. Shine my shoes. It's the only way I'm going to teach you the Bible. You've got to be a slave. I mean, of course, we can't have them in full-fledged slavery because it's so-called illegal. But you know what I'm saying? If they wanted to learn that, brother, they gotta be my servant or something. It's just that simple, brother. But yeah, don't let nobody tell you that the indigenous people of America are Hamites, brother. That's just foolishness, brother. And the reason why they say that is because that cuts their doctrine. You know, when you say that, don't pay me no mind, man. I'm in Newark, New Jersey, man. We walk around. I'm going on the train and everything. But yeah, don't pay that no mind, brother. The indigenous people, the indigenous natives of North and South America, they're Israelites. They're the real Northern Kingdom, and also in Africa. Ain't no Hamites came to America, man. That's madness, brother. Where's that in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't mean to interrupt y'all thing, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I did come on there, but you know what I'm saying? Because like I told one brother, I said, if I'm not an Israelite, I've been in this 25 years. Don't you dare try to tell me I'm not Israel, brother. 25 years, that doesn't make any sense. Scriptures say that my sheep hear my voice, brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't come to me telling me I'm not an Israelite, brother, after 25 years, but that don't make sense. Even though, you know what I'm saying, the groups I learned from may not have the full truth, but I know who I am, brother.
Brother, can
And
I
my
ask you
DNA,
something?
go ahead.
Who are the people from Jamaica and the islands?
Well, the people from Jamaican Islands, you know what's funny? Is that they claim that they're Benjamin. But the Jamaicans come from the Ashanti lineage. And the Ashanti lineage is Judah and Levi and Simeon. It's like different tribes mixed together. It makes more sense for Jamaicans to be Judah than to be Benjamin. Because Judah would be one of the ones who go into slavery faster than the other tribes. I'm not saying Northern Kingdom always go into slavery first. Well, who do you think the Most High is going to deal with first in slavery? Wouldn't it make sense being Judah? Jamaicans have 100 years over the so-called Negro. How do you think the Ashanti, what do you call it, the West Indians? They say that they're from the tribe of Judah. But then the brothers try to tell them they're Benjamin. Every Jamaican knows that they're from the tribe of Judah. So who are these brothers talking about? What are they talking about? Jamaicans know the Rastafari, they say Lion of Judah. That's what they claim. You mean to tell me you're going to come to these people and tell them they're from a different tribe? No. It makes no sense, brother. They are not from Judah, brother. I mean, not from Benjamin. Some of them, a lot of them are Judah. It makes sense because they have the spirit of Judah, brother. Judah is a fighter, brother.
Brother, I'm gonna ask
Judah
you a
is a
question,
fighter.
brother. I'm gonna ask you a question, brother. What you know about the Geechees
The
out
Geechees,
of
yeah, I
out
know
of
who they are.
Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina?
The Geechees are they claim to be Africans, but in actuality they are the black Seminoles. They are the Seminole Indians, the real ones. Because the word Seminole
Right.
means runaway. Runaway means brothers say that Seminoles never went to slavery and they never had to deal with that. But the word Seminole means runaway. The Seminoles are runaway slaves. So how can the
Right.
Seminole Indians be the tribe of Reuben and they never been enslaved, but then you have a people who are known as the runaway slaves? The Seminole Indians are the real Native Americans. Or should I say, they're the indigenous people. Some of them are of African descent because there were some Africans, so-called Africans that mixed with them. But the Seminole or the Geechee, the word Geechee is a Native American name. That's not an African name, brother. The Seminoles are definitely known. The Seminoles are the indigenous people that inhabited Africa. You know what I'm saying? So if you're from the Geechee, you are a native. You are an indigenous person. They sound West Indian and stuff like that, but the Seminoles, I mean the Geechee, are definitely known as indigenous people. They are indigenous. Is there some black people among them? Yes, of course. Matter of fact, look it up. You ever heard of the Seminole Wars?
We were talking about that earlier.
But guess what it's also called? It's also called the Geechee Wars in other texts. The Seminole War and the Geechee War is the same. Or the Gullah Wars.
Right.
The word Gullah is the language they speak. Gullah, Geechee. Those are indigenous. That's indigenous name. The Geechee that speak the Gullah language, that is Seminole. They are the runaway slaves. They are black people. They are black slaves who and they're the ones who ended slavery, brother. Not the Civil War. The Seminoles fought the white man so much that they had to release us all. And by the way, Nat Turner was known as a Seminole, a Geechee. Nat, what's his name? What's her name? What the hell her name is? Harriet Tubman was an indigenous one. She was indigenous.
My great grandfather, 3 times great. He was born 1815. We had the slave sheet, because they wasn't able to have social security numbers or a birth certificate until 1865. And he actually he was registered to vote, which means he had a high school education. He had 200 acres of land, and so to be able to have land and to be able to vote, you have high school education. So he had to be able to read and all. So he actually moved from South Carolina to Georgia, and he passed his 200 acres of land that he bought in Georgia, passed it down to my second or 2-time great grandfather, and so I was, because he was one of them, had to be what we call a freeman, because he couldn't have been.
Freemans were indigenous people, right? Freemen were Native American, were indigenous people. The majority of them. That 12 years of slave, because the Native American, they fought their way out of slavery, and the white man didn't really put them in. I mean, yeah, we all went into slavery, but they got out of that because they fought the white. The white man knew the difference. The white man knew that Native American was not having it, bro. He was
Con. Because I'm like, he had 200 acres of land. Like, you couldn't have any. You couldn't be a slave and have 200 acres of land and to be able to have a high school education.
Benjamin Banneker, the one who drew the blueprints of the White House, the Almanac, he was also indigenous too.
God.
You know what I'm saying? The Moors were indigenous. You know what I'm saying? The Moors were. You ever look at an old slave movie? They'll show you like the slaves come off the boat from Africa, and then they'll show you these people on a boat walking around with a bottle of liquor in their hand with feathers. Those were the indigenous people. And the slaves looked at them like they were crazy. Like, who are these people? They look just like us. It shows you in the old slave movies that it shows you like they're walking around on the ship drinking. The white man was like, yo, chill out. You know what I'm saying? They show these people, they had bottles of liquor, they're throwing it down, walking around with feathers, walking around with white man's clothes on, with suits. And the slaves looked at them like they were crazy. Look at the old slave movies. They show you people on a boat. And they were walking around like they didn't, like with no chains or nothing like that. Those were the indigenous people.
You know what I'm saying?
So, unfortunately, the indigenous actually with Uncle Tom's, and they actually helped the white man, but that's a different story. But yeah, it's in the movie. Chuck Berry. There's a movie of Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry was
Charles the Dog. What native tribe you come from, Charles the Dog? Oh, he must have stepped away.
I think he's speaking Chuck. Yeah, but I can see it.
But
you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Chuck. This is your show.
They called a lot of those indigenous people indentured servants.
Yeah, indigenous people. Matter of fact, you used to see old videos, but old with and the church I was walking around like that. There's movies that show the Native Americans in slave ships too, but they try to show the Mongoloid ones. Because even though some of us may have not been coming from Africa, they traded us to Europe, traded us to Jamaica. The Maroons is actually descendants of Native Americans that came from the United States. So far, United States. You know what I'm saying? So the Native American, the real Native American, actually went in the slave ships because we got moved around. The white man, they said the white man actually moved some up to Africa.
Con. Now the only thing I don't. Now I'm gonna ask you a question, brother. But you don't believe in the second that breakdown of second Ezra 13:40 through 47, do you?
I believe in it to an extent.
That the Northern Kingdom came over here on boats
I'm gonna show you.
During that period.
No, what I'm gonna show. No, but what I believe in is the Northern Kingdom. They left and they got scattered But the two main places I would say would be America or Africa. Then they went to other places. But Assyria, if you look it up, it would be Africa. I thought it was America, but the Assyria is actually a map. I can't find it, but there's a map.
To my understanding, when I read the scriptures and I read like the little history, that we came through that, you know, that second Ezra's 13 chapter, verse 40 through 47, mean that we came through Africa, settled in certain places in Africa, and then, you know, came across the boats, because from that would be from 70 AD or even before 70 AD. That's a long, I mean, that's about almost 2,000 years of a period that, you know, that the Northern Kingdom could have came back and forth from America to Africa and settled land.
And the Native Americans that came to America, the indigenous people, the possibility is this. Like I told FOPE, yes, they didn't come to America first, but I believe there was a remnant of Africans that did come over. I think they went to Africa, then went to America. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that Northern Kingdom went everywhere. But there is a main place they went to. That's Assyrians. They think that the Assyrians was the United States, so-called United States, or the Americans, not South America. There's evidence of Israelites being. But the main place, Assyria, when you look it up, I didn't know it. But Josephus and all the other books say that would be Africa. But brothers say, oh, well, Africa was already inhabited. But it says a land that nobody never inhabited. You know, Africa is the biggest continent on the planet, not Asia. They lie about it. Africa is bigger than every part. You can fit the whole world in Africa. Africa is huge. So what they're saying is they went to West Africa. So when the Northern Kingdom went to lands that no one never inhabited, they went to places that they saw no one. Brother, I could go to Utah, third part of Utah, brother, nobody's inhabited that thing. But brother, it can't be America because people inhabit America. No, Northern Kingdom, they went to places where nobody was. But the main place was Assyria. And Assyria would be some parts of Africa. Because that was the land that was mentioned, that was the main land. But I always thought it was America. Because I said America's a new world. And I will argue with you all day about America. But yeah. Oh, you back up there?
Hey, why is the Spaniards that's calling themselves Israelites, the real Israelites in places like Chicago and New York?
Because the Spirit bear witness, like the Spirit bear witness with the children of the Most High, the Spirit bear witness of the children of the devil. You know what I'm saying? Dominican is actually a child of a Haitian woman and a Spaniard or Frenchman. So that Edomite part of them is what's making them Haitian.
Not the Frenchman, the Spanish man for the Dominicans. It's a Frenchman for the Haitian.
The Dominicans are mulatto, a lot of them. Some of them are dark skinned, but the dark skinned ones, the Dominicans will tell you the Haitians that lived in Dominican Republic. But the Haitians, I said the Dominicans are of a mulatto race. Right. They are descendants of Haitian women with Spaniard and French men. The white ones. Because you could be so that's why they had to hate you, because of that Spanish. You know, in Dominican Republic, you Haitian, they might hang you on the.
Well, the French conquered the Haiti side, and the Spanish conquered the Dominican side.
Yeah, but but the Haitians speak Spanish too. I mean, I've been around Haitians and Spanish, and I've been around Dominicans, and sometimes
it's really the same island of Hispaniola.
That's why I don't believe in Simeon and Levi, because technically the whole island is Haiti in the Taino language. So to tell me the two different tribes is bogus, because they're the same land. Look it up. Look up the island of Haiti. It'll tell you the Dominican Republic and Haiti was Haiti, meaning Haiti in the Taino language. But the Dominican side is of the Spaniard. The Haitian state is somewhat pure. There are some white-skinned Haitians, but not most.
Right.
The Dominican side are the side of mulattoes. Our brother tried to come on the show and said, "Oh, you could be a mulatto and be an Israelite." First of all, the word mulatto was never a black man with a white woman. It's always a white man with a black woman. Mulatto, Quadroon, Octoroon was always from the white man.
Right.
They never called it.
How come why these camps not acknowledging this stuff? They know the truth's out, man. We've been putting it out there for a minute now.
Yeah, because they came in.
They know that.
They came in later, brother. And plus, brother,
They know
a lot
that.
of these guys got these little mamacitas, little Spanish chicks, man. You know what I'm saying? That, and they're not trying to get that up, brother.
Because you got a lot of Eves, well, a lot of I guess so-called Eves that, you know what I'm saying, that has they have black fathers and white mothers, and they call themselves mulatto. I'm like, a mulatto has a white father, not a black father.
Yeah, because a white man would never consider you a mulatto if you got a black father. You straight black. You're 100% black.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that I follow that because you still gotta have monkey DNA in me, but in you. But I'm just saying, the white man does not call a man. You got a black father. You're 100% black according to the white. Like I said, I don't follow that. But you're not a mulatto. A mulatto has a white father.
A white father.
A quad room, octo room. So the brother said, I think it was on one of the platforms when he was dealing with Tazadak. I mean, not Tazadak. What's the hell his name is? Oh, the Tasmanian devil. I call him Tazaryak. Who look like Esau himself.
I Piss UK.
Yeah, he said that. You know what he said? He said that. He said, yeah, you could be. Yeah, you go by your father. You could be a quad room. You could be an octo room. You could be all that. But once you go past the octo room, you know the Israelite. I said, what's that in the Bible? So basically, the word mulatto was always with a white father. The word quad room means you got 1/4 white in you. No, 1/4 black. That means you got 3/4 white. You got 3 fathers that are white, and you got 1 father that's black. And then you got an octo room, which means you 1/8 black and 7/8 white. All these terminologies were used for white fathers. The 1-drop rule was used for a white father because the white father didn't want to acknowledge his children. Frederick Douglass was a mulatto. W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah. Booker. Booker T. White. No,
Booker T. Washington looked like a white man. Yeah, his father was a white man. He had blue eyes and everything.
Yeah,
you know Booker T. Washington. You know Booker T. Washington. The only thing that made him look black was his color. You know Booker T. Washington had a white man's face and everything. Yeah. Webb Du Bois, forget about it. He had mostly a white ancestor. He sounded like a white man. W.B. Du Bois. His name is William Bunghart Du Bois. That's a white boy. He got 3/4 of a white. The white man dumped his children on us, and we calling them white. We calling them black.
Come on.
Webb Du Bois. The reason why he was allowed into Harvard and he was looked at as a great scholar because he was 3/4 of European ancestry. But a lot of these white people, a lot of these people who so-called light skin, not all of us, it's because they got white fathers. Because black, we was to call black. We wasn't called black because we were light skin. It was our skin color that made.
Yeah.
And what happened, Malak?
I don't know. I think the brother froze. But he was at the train station. But yeah, he has some good valuable information going on. Like we said, we them bruised.
He said everything that he possibly say. He knows a lot more than that, but he was hitting on all the same tracks.
Drake, you got a lot of static, man. You gotta drop out and come back in. It's a lot of static in your every time you talk. Yashabum, you still up over there, man? In GA, man, what's going on over there? Yashabum don't pass that, huh? But Richard, man, what's going on, man?
That kind of often, man. Just
you trying to bring the northern? You trying to bring them the Hispanics in, Richard? What's going on today? What's going on, brother?
Nah, man, I'm just listening, man, and just being educated, you know what I mean? Just have to listen. You know,
Con.
I'm a kind of man. If I don't know something, I listen to brothers. You know, because I can't know everything. So
Con.
I'm
You know,
enjoying the conversation, seeing that brothers are that deep to find where they're actually from and all that stuff like that. You know, because I never really took the time to go that far into the heritage. You know,
con.
but I respect that, and I enjoy seeing brothers really that deep. You know.
Con. We got to get the history out, man. You know, people got to know the truth because they're getting a lot of lies. Um,
Yep.
they getting a lot of lies in the churches and the mosques, and then they come get a lot of lies when they join these Israelite camps, congregations. Get a lot of lies, man. But you know, I came in when I first came in the truth. I came in learning Negroes only. Then you know, I started kind of you know, I started watching some of the camps, and I joined one of them. And you know, they were teaching, you know, the 12 tribe chart. So you know, I'm like, I'm gonna give it a chance, but it never resonated with my soul because I'm like, man, there's no way in hell possible. You know, 9 tribes can just phenotype transformation like that fast. I'm like, no way. And I knew the Aztecs, Mayan, Incans, and the Olmecs were all Afro-looking people or whatever, Negro-looking people, whatever you want to call it. So I'm like, come on, man, these people ain't changed like that, man. Come on.
You let Nate put that damn spirit on you, man.
Yeah, man.
Nate get over
Yeah,
there, start
Daddy Nate, man. Daddy Nate got me, man.
Nate get over there, start talking, man. Make
So
the
sad.
lie seem fair seeming.
You know,
Yeah, man.
even with the Jews, it upsets me when I hear brothers speak about the Jews like if they are somebody. They are bloody bandits and thieves, basically. How you gonna tell me that you are a Hebrew but you are light skinned like that? You know? Um, I personally want to sue the hell out of those guys for infringement, basically, if I could. You know what I'm saying? Because you're saying you are Israelites or you are Israelis, you are Jews, you are the biblical people from the Bible, but you have no resemblance whatsoever.
No
That's why they
resemblance.
changed the
No,
language and said they're the children of God, you know, and they use words like Jew that don't go back into a true antiquity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
shoot, Jew is just short for Judah.
yeah, but still, there is no J in the Hebrew language then nor today. So how could you call yourself after a word
Right,
that's only for a letter
right,
that's only 400, a little over 400
right.
years old, when we know we are thousands of
Yehuda.
years old? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
They don't
I,
call themselves Yehudas.
I personally would love to be able to just sue those guys for infringement or something, man. Let them pay us because they owe us money.
See, well, the whole world owes money.
Hey, you can't just blame them. What about the
The
Mexicans?
whole
What
right.
about all these so-called Hispanics? It's the same thing, man. But people don't like to talk about them. You see what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing. They coming along calling us Canaanites when they didn't know what a damn Israelite was, man.
You see,
None of those so-called Hispanic people existed during biblical times. Not one of them could call me a liar. Not
true,
one
true,
single one.
true, true,
God.
true. Yeah, we know, and we know. As I was saying, I mean, even Santo Domingo, it's the same word, just one is French and one is in Spanish. You know, but it's Spaniard, but basically it's a mixture of
See
different
what they do.
breeds.
See what they do. They found all the little all the old artifacts that's in all those countries and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's Mexico's and Central America and South America. And they say, look, we're Israelites. But no, that's not your artifacts. Those are the original people artifacts. That was not yours. You come off of Esau.
Right.
And what they call them archaeologists, and if you do that, they call you a grave robber. You know,
Right.
they got doctor degree, and but if we take what is ours, they call us bandits and thieves. You know, yeah. I mean, there must be a change. That's about it. There must be a change. And
What you
you
think
cannot,
about Octavius, man?
Yeah, just like you said earlier about all this mixing and everything. It's evident once you get to know them, and a lot of them actually know their history,
Mm-hmm.
and they will tell you that they go back to Columbus, Barbosa, Cortez. Those are folk heroes. Those people are still venerated as heroes in these countries to this very day. I've worked around a lot of them, and I know the mentality. And yeah, a lot of them do not identify with us. And I worked with a guy that was from Peru, and his father owned a huge plantation in Peru to this very day. And they have black people. They have our people there working those fields to this very day. You know what I'm saying? Paying them like dirt wages and everything. And a lot of them, they come over here with these slave master mentalities, and they try to inflict that mentality on us, and they use our ignorance of history against us, you know, especially with their ulterior motives. Like, if you welcome them with open arms, you know what I mean? Like, that's how a lot of people, like in warfare, that's how we get overthrown every time. Somebody's collaborating, you know what I'm saying? Or like we let them in, and, you know what I'm saying? Just look at even how our forefathers, took down Jericho. Somebody got behind the wall first. You know what I mean? To spy out. You know what I mean? And that's how we fall every time. You know what I mean? So like these spies and these infiltrators. You know what I mean? And you have to be honest about a person's intention. You know what I mean? And that we see it throughout history. Like I even said last week, you look at how before they even came to America, they was going down to places like Senegal and places in West Africa, the Portuguese and the Spanish, and they was creating a mulatto race then. And then some of those same mulattoes are the ones that accompanied Columbus to America, to the Americas, to the Dominican Republic. Get what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. And like I think I was telling Yashabim about Florida in general. In St. Augustine, you had a lot of Spanish white men come to Florida, and they was having children with the indigenous population. They called, or slaves as they called them or whatever. And those children were pretty much for saying they owned all of Florida. So when they did when the Spain sold Florida to the United States in the original Constitution of 1838, it says it nullified all land claims of the Spanish Empire, because most of those people that claim to have land in Florida were mulattoes that came from a white father. You get what I'm saying? So what you're saying is right on point. You could look at it. You could go to the Florida State Constitution. It will actually tell you. It pretty much starts off saying all of those land claims are nullified from Spain. Because if that would have been the case, you would have had a bunch of mulattoes owning all the towns and land in Florida. You feel me? And that's the same way they operated even in the Dominican Republic. That's how Spanish looked at, okay, if your father was white, you're white. You know what I mean? And to this very day, that same attitude is being perpetrated even in our modern day sense, where you got Dominicans attack Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and people within these gangs attacking our people. And this is what I'm saying is not racism. This is absolute fact. Like, it's nothing that I said that can't be debunked, or that is prejudice towards Hispanics in any way. This is history. This is where we at right now. We are not the group of people attacking little Spanish boys and girls or Spanish women that when they come through our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah. I know some guys who are from San Domingo, and if you call them Haitian, they want to fight you. I'm not no Haitian, and they actually want to fight because it's an insult to call them Haitian. I don't know why.
And this guy is calling himself Malak, you
Oh,
get
yeah,
your wicked
man.
ass.
He on you. He
Yeah,
on you, man.
yeah,
Bring
you
him
get
in.
your wicked ass out of here. I blocked him before, man, because that bitch ass nigga came in here with some craziness. Now I'm gonna just permanently block him from the channel.
What's your
Yeah,
language?
I mean, he just going like, damn. He
Yeah.
trying to promote his little damn his little page and shit. Like, come on, dude, man. Go on that weak stuff, man.
Yeah, don't come to this channel again. Keep your weak ass off of this channel. Came in here the other time, got real disorderly. Yeah, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I had to say on the subject matter, you know. And the thing is, it's like it's also I know when you talk to a lot of Israelite camps, I would ask that question because I was like, I like just knowing history. You know, I studied world history even in college, and I knew how we was taught how the Spanish Empire in the Americas was formed. You know, and as you was absolutely correct. These were conquerors, conquering men that came to the Americas, Portuguese and Spanish, and they didn't bring no women with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I would ask those questions about like how are certain groups of people like Cubans? I can see how you get some people with that look like us, Afro Latinos, and say, okay, they are people, of course. You know, we a lot of us come are indigenous here, and we also have similar roots from the slave trade.
Right. Correct.
But the thing is that once you ask that question and pressure it, what they tell you is a lot of the northern kingdom went into the Syrian captivity and they got mixed up there.
But hold up. So they never come to me with that because I could prove with artifacts that the Assyrians were so-called black people. They was black like you and I. You see what I'm saying?
That's where they run to for the ignorant. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I just want to put it on the call because if you don't put that out there, that's what they try to use to debunk what you're saying to the uninitiated, uneducated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they'll say that Assyrians were these Asiatic white people or something like that for some kind of reason, and that's absolutely not true. You know.
Yeah.
So that's what they will run to for somebody to listen to this call.
Correct.
They'll go to the Assyrian captivity, and then they'll say, okay, with in the book of Second Esdras, they came to Azaroth, place where man never dwelt, and that's how they try to get out of that. That's how they try to get out of that, because then. So if you do know a little history, if you don't know about Second Esdras, you don't know about the Assyrian Empire, you'll kind of back off from that question about the Spanish Edomites. You know what I'm saying? And their bloodline, and not to mention they even someone got their background. Yeah, but like you even have it where like you go back to Spain in the 1490s. What they did was they was making a separation even in Spain between those who had the so-called Jewish and Ishmaelite bloodlines, and they took those Moors and they put them in slavery and brought them to the Caribbean. So there was a distinct, there was a very distinct separation between the races, even in Spain at that time. They even like the Pope passed. I forgot what it was. Certain kind of laws and stuff. Through the Catholic Church to make a distinction between the Moors and the Christians. You know what I'm saying? And they took a lot of those African Moors and they brought them here enslaved. They were one of the first slave ships that came to Americas came from Spain. Get what I'm saying? and those were the ones that did have the Israelite gene. You know, they made a distinction then. You know, it became like pretty much if you look in history, white supremacy started in Spain. You know what I'm saying? And it was even petitioned to the Catholic Church from Portugal and Spain in order to say, okay, it's okay to enslave these groups of people. You get what I'm saying? So they were the one. The Spanish Empire was the Spanish and Portuguese Empire was the ones to petition the Catholic Church to make this law that where we get the Christian black codes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because didn't the Moors they end up Portugal end up giving the Moors like a pass to come there from Spain and stay there for like a year until they get their stuff together to move out. And if they went past that deadline of a year or year and a half, then they could be subject to be slaves right there in Portugal as
Yeah,
well.
wait. It all go back to the Spanish Inquisition. You like I don't know that in particular, but the Spanish Inquisition is where all of the racism that we have today originated from. You get what I'm saying? It was the overthrow of the Moors in Spain. You know, because they had a problem with a lot of these so-called black people in Europe ruling everything and running everything. And so when they fell out of power, they started, you know, changing things around. You know, the world turned on its head at that point. And even in Spanish culture to this day, you know, that's why pork is such a delicacy, and it's a way of proving that you are not Israelite, you're not a Jew, according to them, or a Mohammedan. You know what I'm saying? Because both groups did not eat pork. But like if you go to it, like I said the other day, go to a Cuban restaurant, what are you going to get? Pork.
Nothing
You know what I'm
but
saying?
pork.
Yeah. All of their delicacies are pork.
Mexican too.
Mm-hmm.
Just about.
Yeah. Like I was out at this flea market a few years ago, and it was some I think it was some Guatemalans or whatever, and they was out there cooking like pork, pig skin with the fat, you know what I mean? And it was just like everything just pork, like it's pork sauce and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's a way of showing that you're Catholic, you know what I mean? Because they celebrate that as a form of separation between, you know, true Israelite culture or Islamic culture. You know what I'm saying? It's showing disdain from it shows disdain of those Moors who ruled in Spain. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like, you know, because even if you watch that one movie, I think Robin Hood with Jamie Foxx, remember they said the guy said, I'm not just gonna kill you, I'm gonna inject you with pork blood. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never be able to go to heaven. You know, and at the time, you know, they really believe that their bodies they would be condemned. They couldn't go to wherever afterlife that they believed in. You know what I'm saying? If they contaminated themselves with pork. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and it's and that's why you have that kind of culture now in Spanish cultures all over the world.
Yeah, they love them. Anything with pork, boy.
Yeah.
Pork, I mean, they eat abominable food, period, man.
Yeah.
Especially like the Mexicans out here, man. You go to a Mexican seafood place and kind of, man, they got squid and got, I mean, everything you could damn think of. And it's gonna be raw, and then gonna be squid, octopus, and everything. I'm like, man, what the hell these people eating?
Yeah,
So,
and they got something they do with the pig blood too. Like if you go to certain ethnic stores, you can buy pig blood. I don't know what that's about, but you know what I'm
the
saying?
damn devil that the Bible speaks of.
Yeah. They sell it. You go to any of those ethnic stores, even here in Florida, they sell pig blood.
Well, you know, they put pig in paint and everything, you know. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying, even the paint that you buy, you have to look on the back of it. You know what I'm saying? It got
Yeah.
pig in it. I mean pork in it. You know, so they try to put pork in there and everything. Even you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Even the gummy bears, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You gotta find some vegan gummy bears, man. They just
Yeah. Same
any
thing with
kind
the
of gummy, man. I'm
marshmallows.
like that.
Marshmallows. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And they
You
don't even
know,
have to use
certain
the pork to do
Jello.
that.
They don't. They can use beef,
Yeah.
all that stuff, man. You know, so you know they just cheap and wicked as hell. 'Cause they know that they feed us pork. It's in our system, you know, and we breaking the law of God, even not knowing and knowing. You know what I'm saying? Something. So the devil, he's slick. White man is very slick.
Yeah. Like you even go back. Like let's even go back further when you had Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Going back to Muhammad in North Africa. You know, like our people were so noble and so deeply. We deeply believed in our God so much that they was chopping off heads of Israelites in North Africa when they was colonizing, because there was like pretty much accept Islam or get your head chopped off. You know what I mean? And our people was just like not going for it. You know what I mean? And so that's like, and that shows the same kind of commitment they even had going back to Spain, where there was the Spanish Inquisition started, where like, okay, if you're not a Mohammedan or a Israelite or Jew, eat this pork. You know what I mean? And a lot of our people said, hell no. So America opens up, they need workers. Next thing you know, they gathering these people up and they shipping them out to the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? To work the cane fields. You feel me? So it was like they was clearing Europe out of the of a lot of the black people, you know what I'm saying, or the Moors, you would say, just for everybody, speaking, the Moors or so-called black people, during that Spanish Inquisition time. This was taking place throughout Europe. They were cleaning the house. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, it's a lot of knowledge, man.
Yeah.
What happened to Malakia Allah?
I think he was on a train or something, so he probably
Yeah,
going
back
in
to
and out.
sleep.
Oh, yeah, he's probably going back to Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I'll tell you, a big eye opener for a lot of Israelites is going back to North Africa in the 600s. When you had Islam pop off, and it proves even in that whole area, majority of the people were our people, and they were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much throughout all of North Africa, and that's how a lot of us came into West Africa. You know what I'm saying? Later on, you know what I mean, and even the start of the African slave trade and the UFC. There's a video on YouTube that's probably like 9 years old. It's probably been there since YouTube been around. It talks about the African slave trade of the Mohammedans. You know what I'm saying, and then also study about like the like how a lot of the Moors or whatnot came from North Africa. They were either Islamics or they were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Those two religions of our people. And that's very important. That like even on History Channel, they really skip over 800 years. They'll go all the way to the Roman Empire, about like to the 400s or something like that, and then they'll skip all the way to like the 1400s. If you notice, look at History Channels a lot, or they'll just talk
Yeah.
about England. They just jump to England or whatever, but they don't talk about they'll skip 800 years. Even when I studied in college about studied history in college, they love to jump over that 800-year period. even in African history, you know, that's the most probably explains everything that we're going on to this very day. The Spanish Inquisition, also the African slave trade that started with the Muslims. You know.
Yeah, they a bunch of white supremacists.
And then you get down to Mansa Musa, you know, the West African empires, you know, all that gold and, you know, success that we had at the time, you know what I'm saying? And even how after the Spanish Inquisition and the fall of the Moors in Europe, then you start to have these colonies of the Portuguese, Spanish along the African coast, and they start creating a mulatto race that helped them to start being hunters and slave catchers. You know what I'm saying? And how a lot of that was like a lot of the African leaders were paid off to take down our people in West Africa at the time.
Right.
Yeah. Even with that Fez, like that Fez, I think it was in 1066, how it was pretty much like that Fez represents your murder.
They the reason they wear it red is because they named it after the town of Fez.
Yeah.
They murdered all the people, then they dipped their hats in blood.
Yeah.
And so they started wearing that red Fez after that.
Yeah.
You know the strangest thing, I never liked the color red since I'm a little boy up to this day. Never own anything red. Do not like the color red.
Yeah, even with that term Canaan, like how they start calling us Canaanites, that came from a Catholic soothsaying witch that did divinations and whatnot. She would go into these deep dreams and stuff. I'm trying to look up the information. I have it somewhere in my my archive now, but yeah, they would actually. She was doing divination. She said she traveled back in time to find out that so-called black people were Canaanites. That's where that originated from, a Catholic witch, and that's fact.
Yeah, man. Them people. Feel like these little Catholic little priests and none. They claim they ain't getting none, but all they do is molest. You got the Catholic nuns. They molesting little girls. They all on CNN. You got the priests, you know, they molesting little boys. You know.
Yeah.
What kind of? They ain't never witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? But they're supposed to be big.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say even the origins of what they're trying to say about so-called black people being Canaanites.
Oh, yeah, it's a lie.
That's from witchcraft.
Yeah, witchcraft. Ain't about witchcraft.
Yeah. So that cuts them right there. I'm gonna get the name for you. I'm looking for it now. So y'all go ahead and
Raw boy, what's going on? Raw boy, you up, man?
Doc, what's going on, my brother? Tyler Doc, what's going on, my brother?
Shalom, what's going on, Ken?
What's good? What's good? Hey, man, just over here, you know, over here just being a cross between a spick and a nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Over here surviving, bro. That's what I'm doing. For real, man. Hey, but, yo, we brothers. Octavius Prime, what's good, bro? Richard, what's good, man?
I think he went over.
What's good? What's good? I'm listening.
Nah, can y'all hear me? Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Car.
Nah, man, nah. I'm over here, bro, just chilling, just listening to y'all, man. You know, dropping the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I just got a couple questions though, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. You know, I know earlier y'all was talking about, you know, that we ain't the same and we can't call each other brothers.
Well, the descendants
you know,
of the Spanish people are not the same, brother. The descendants of the Spanish people are not the same. Not according to scriptures. You know, according to scriptures, your descendancy comes from the seed of your father. And so most of the people that conquered those lands, remember, when these men went out to conquer lands, they sent men. They didn't send any women. So they conquered the women. And so this is why there's such a
But I'm saying, if we
You're good?
no, I was gonna say, but if we take it, okay, let's take it past the transatlantic slave trade and all this other stuff that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because we know already that's the history. You know, yeah, we all got slaved up. The Israelites got slaved up, and that's another thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Israelites got scattered, like Zadok said earlier. You know what I'm saying? We got scattered all over to the four corners of the earth, to all the nations. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that tells me when I read that scripture that there's Israelites in every nation. You know, I done met, you know what I'm saying? So there's Asian Israelites, there's Asian Israelites, there's all kind of Israelites. You know what I'm saying, man? And they all not the same color. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
here's where that's where the loophole goes, right? If they're Asian, they're not an Israelite, right? Now you might have an Israelite that if the father was from a Negro descent and he made it with a Moabite woman, then he's classified as an Israelite, but he still violated the law, the covenant, right? But on the flip side of that, whereas if it's the mother that's the so-called Negro woman and the man is a Moabite or so-called Asian or what you call a Native American, that person is not an Israelite, not according to the Bible. Because the Bible said we judge a man by the seed of his father. That's your descendancy from the X or either Y chromosome. The man determines what sex that baby's going to be. So that's what we're saying. And so that explains, because I don't know if you're native to this country, brother, or you was born in Central South America. But like I was saying, I've been over there a lot. I spent some years over there in both Central and South America, and they're very discriminative against the Negro Latinos. Those people are racist against them. A prime example is Haiti. A prime example is Haiti, right? Now you got two and Dominicans, right? Before the so-called white man come in, there was nothing but so-called Africans, because Dominican is not an original race. So they're really pretty much mulattoes, because the so-called white man came in, he ravished the Taino women who was of a Negro descent, and then when he diminished them, he went to Africa and he brought more people and he raped those women. Now, what happened is the descendants of these Spanish men, because it was the Spaniards that conquered the Dominican Republic and the French that conquered Haiti. So these Spanish men, they started to produce lighter children, and those children, they were told by their parents, well, you know what? We descend from Spanish, and they're telling the truth. And so that's why they discriminate against even the people that's born in the Dominican Republic. If they look like they're native black, they discriminate against them and tell them, you don't belong here. You belong in Haiti. And so they don't give them citizenship. That's still going on today.
yeah, no, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And I agree that none of these you so-called like Mexicans and none of them nations was around since biblical times. I agree with that 100%. But like, we all mixed in, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've been getting mixed in ever since the days of the Israelites. Like, you know what I'm saying? Did not Judah get mixed in with the Canaanites? And if you're saying that the Canaanites is not black, you know what I'm saying, not of black descent, not of black skin, then what was the Canaanites? Because in
they were black
it says,
No, they were black skin.
Canaanites were black skin. And so this is
I
why
thought Octavius just said that they wasn't. Octavius just said that that came from witchcraft. So, and y'all just all agreed on that. Y'all said, yeah.
No, he
you
didn't
know what I'm saying?
And
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I
That's
that's what I
got the
understood.
information. Tazadak, I just sent you the meme on Facebook. It shows you, it said the woman name was Anne Catherine Emmerich.
Yeah, she said that we were.
Yeah, this is where the
Yeah, she said that we
the
were
lie of
Canaanites.
us being Canaanites come from. It was a Catholic mystic from 1774 through 1824. You can look her up. She was the one that came out the fact of saying that so-called black people came from the seed of Canaan. Her name is
Right, but y'all saying
Anne
they didn't,
Catherine
right?
Emmerich.
No,
Y'all saying
they didn't come from the seed of Canaan. See, this is what people that's not Israelite clearly don't understand. When Israelites mixed in, the men may have mixed in with those Canaanite women. We know that. If you know anything about biblical history, the 12 tribes were built from 2 African women.
Yeah.
The 2 slaves, Jacob's wives, they were 2 African women. We know that. That don't make them Canaanites. That make them Israelites. Like I said, it's the seed of the father. The man has the determining factor. And whenever you see Israelite men go to war, the Most High tells them that you measure them by the seed of their father, the seed of the house of their father, not by the woman. And so what the enemy has done, he's took that and trying to flip it and say you're whatever your mother is, when she only has 1 chromosome. The man has the X and the Y chromosome. You see what I'm saying?
We got the sperm.
Right.
We got the sperm.
With the seed. With the seed.
The seed.
And Judah also, his Canaanite children died off, didn't they? And he had to marry one of his sons. Like he ended up having, by accident, having sex with one of his sons' wives. That one of his sons.
She tricked him.
Yeah, she tricked him.
She tricked him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even think she was Canaanite. She wasn't Canaanite. So
what was she then? Wasn't she a Canaanite woman?
No, I don't think. No, I don't think she was. I don't think she was at all.
Yeah. But my point is saying that I'm not talking about Jacob's descendants. I'm talking about Jacob himself. 2 of Jacob's wives, that was those handmaidens, they were straight African women. But you would call African, you understand? And a few of those children came out of those 2 women. You understand? Remember when Leah they was battling once they became barren, they couldn't produce children anymore. And she said, hey, go into my handmaid. Then the other sister done the same thing. So Jacob ended up marrying 2 sisters, Rachel and Leah, and then they took each sister's handmaiden, and then he had children by them. That's what the 12 tribes come out of, man. And so that's why people are trying to say that the damn Edomite woman is saying that we're Canaanite, she's simple as hell because she's going by Esau's system. See, she's trying to measure it on the women. They don't understand science and they don't understand the Bible.
Father's bloodline. It's the father's bloodline. So, Raw Boy, is your father a so-called Negro?
I mean, shit. Nah, my dad, we come from like the Embera Indians, bro, in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? And over there, it's like the majority of them was concentrated in a place called that's nowadays is called Choco. You know what I'm saying? And that's where like a lot of the Oweida Africans came as slaves over there. You know what I'm saying? Which is when you translate. When I looked at the Oweida stuff back in the day, that really comes from that. They come from Nigeria, which was to me from what I studied. It looked like that was Judah because it even says Awida is kind of like it translates to Judah. You know what I'm saying? So that got mixed in with the Embera Indians that got mixed in with the Spaniards. So I know that I got Spanish blood in me, but I also got the Embera Indians who was already there when the Spanish came. You know what I'm saying? So those was people that was already there before the Spanish came and before anybody else and because the French came over there too. Because a lot of us out there, you got like Spanish people that got Spanish names. And like you got people who got French last names and things like, you know what I'm saying? They started passing down their last names to all the Indians and all the African slaves. And then the Africans and the Emberas started mixing together. So like, you know what I'm saying? That comes from like a long line, you know what I mean? So when I look at like old pictures of my peoples, you know what I'm saying? They just look like light-skinned black people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they look kind of like me between my color and like my features and like kind of like darker and lighter. It just fluctuates. You see what I'm saying? So I can't really pinpoint. I can't really trace myself. I don't know who really could trace themselves back to a tribe like that. Maybe y'all can. Y'all can show me how to do it. But from what I've seen, like, you know what I'm saying, that's as far back as I can go and I can see, you know what I'm saying, from the region that I was. And I know in that region, that's where the whole transatlantic slave movement started going on. That whole South America, the supposedly West Indies, you know what I'm saying, which is Cuba, Puerto Rico, all that, you know what I'm saying, nowadays. And Florida and all that stuff. That's why all the concentration of people like that look like that is over there. You know what I'm saying? It's just that nowadays, a lot of those people, they done got mixed in with the American type mentality, man. And a lot of people, they separate themselves. Like I got aunties that went to Florida and they just like me, but they went to Florida and now they act and talk like they white. See, it's, to me, it's all a mentality, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's what you be fed where you at, and then how much of your own history do you pick up and do you really go and get into? You know what I'm saying? Because if they could just tell you white and people be like accept it, like, you know what I'm saying? How many people that's like you got like take this to consideration. There's people that might be the direct descendants of like one of the, you know, Israelite, you know what I'm saying? But they're so whitewashed that you can't even tell them who they is. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
that's true. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
You know, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta like, to me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm over here like talking, like I said, man, I'm in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, and I don't advocate because I know I've been getting hated on by Mexicans, and they done call me a mayate and all. And even when you go to Colombia, bro, like a person like me, they'll call you a negro, but it's not like out of like hate. You know what I'm saying? Like most of my family, they call them like negro, like, hey, what's up, negro? But it be about like, you know, it's more like more love. It ain't no like hate. Now you got racist people out there, like I said last time we was talking. There's people out there that still be drawing swastikas and all. They got that type of mentality, and they Colombian too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a mentality, bro. But like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in the last days, man, everybody gonna find out who they is. You know what I'm saying? Like to me.
But was you on the call earlier, brother, when I was going over this stuff? Like when I was talking about, you know, the Puerto Ricans, like the largest percentage of those people there are descendant of whites. In fact, a lot of the Spanish that was there, they married Spanish women, but they still classified themselves as Puerto Ricans, but they was really just straight up white. And
yeah,
so
yeah. I heard that, yeah, for sure. But a lot of that, you gotta understand too, a lot of that just became demographic due to like what's going on in the region at that time, man, and the people trying to get survival and things like that. But that don't change who they really is. You know what I'm saying? Just like
do you understand this, brother? Listen, so let's put this in perspective, right? So you have Taino. I showed ancient artifacts of what Tainos look. They had woolly hair. Most of the people that claim to be Taino, like I was using the Dominican Republic, they only have 1% of Taino in their blood. The rest is from so-called African women and white men, which makes them mulattoes. The bulk of those people are mulattoes, except for the ones that you could clearly see that they kept their Negroid features. Now, some of them could as well be so-called Spanish, but when you do research like that, you begin to see why these people think the way that they think, because they probably had an ancestor that told them, listen, your grandfather was a so-called white man or something like that, and they passed it down. So then they're really not being biased. They're kind of like telling the truth about who they belong to. So, and that's what people need to come to realize, because some of them are like you saying, some of them don't want to identify with being so-called black, so they're going to claim that as well. But if you look at the Census Report, brothers, most of these so-called Hispanic countries, unless they're Afro-Latino, they all claim white. And
all of them.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that is because they know that their descendants are either the Spanish, the French, or the Italians, which means they really are white. They're not creating something fictitious. That's who they really are. And so Octavius, you were saying something earlier about how, you know, a lot of these Israelites try to use like the Syrian thing. So I want to show you some images of the so-called what the real Assyrians really look like real quick. And I put this out there so these people could see it. That they was dark, man. So that because you're right, because they try to bring that lie up with me also. Oh no, the Assyrians, they mix with the Assyrians. Well, the Assyrians, I was like, yo, they was dark like us. So that's what the Assyrians look like right here. You see that? See that? That's an Assyrian right there. Let's get some more of these. This is white knives. See, this is what Esau did. See that on white knives, that one. Fake white knives joined of Assyrians. This is the lie that they get our people to believe. And this is why so many of those Israelites are messed up. Look at these. These are Negroes, man. Woolly hair.
See the dreads.
Look at that. These are Negroes. Assyrian musicians. You see that? Look at their hair. See that? They got locks right there. So they can't hide it, man. The truth will always come back, man, and bite you in the behind, man. Now look at this. You can't distinguish the Assyrians from, you know, the Canaanites. You see that? They look just like Canaanites. You got a Libyan, a Canaanite, and a Syrian, and a Nubian. What do they all look like? Blackface. Different shades of brown. See that? You can't hide this, man. So the next time the Israelites trying to, you know, put that garbage to someone, if this video's still up, hey, there you go. Look at that. This is what they look like, man. These Assyrians bringing vassals and weapons. It's in the Museum of Art in New York City. That's a king right there, the Assyrians.
Hey, so what's your opinion about the are y'all of the opinion that like the Canaanites, right? When Joshua went in and was taking them all out, was they all like, was everybody black? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or was just the Canaanites different shades?
No, the Canaanites, or you understand they're out of Ham, right? That's Ham's fourth son. They were so-called black people. And Joshua didn't kill off all of those like a lot of Israelites liars. He didn't kill off all the Canaanites. But yeah, they so-called black people. This is a fact. They're Hamites.
Ham's son.
The modern name for a Canaanite is so-called African.
A Canaanite ain't nothing but a Hamite. That's all.
You gotta remember. You gotta remember, brother. The Israelites definitely made it with them. This is why that lady was trying to say that they're Canaanites. Because what was Israel called before Israel? It's called the land of Canaan.
Jacob.
That's who the land was taken from and given to. The Israelites. It was their land. The land of Canaan.
See?
That before that name Israel even exists, it was the land of Canaan. That was their land, the land of milk and honey. So the Most High, that's what he's talking about in the book of Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. He said, I'm going to send you into this land that had 7 nations in it, greater and mightier than you. And when you meet them, you should kill them and utterly destroy them. But he didn't kill all of them off. How do we know? Because the prophecy says they did not destroy the nations like I had ordered them to do. You see what I'm saying? So they let some of them live, and they took marriages with them when they was warned in Deuteronomy not to marry them.
That's true.
Yeah, man.
I mean, even going back to Roman history, you look at when they started going up into the Germanic areas and up into England, the name for the province was called Albion. They never even seen those kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Romans even documented, like, you know, these were some strange people. You know, they call them Albions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're gonna at the end of the day, man, you're gonna have a lot of people with Negroid features that think that they're Israelites, and they're gonna find out that they're not. And so that's why a lot of these, you know, people, they won't receive this. You know what I'm saying? They're not receptive. They going hard. They acting like that. I mean, the ones that look like straight up Negroes. You're gonna think that they're, you know, Israelites, and they're not, because you know sometimes even when a so-called black man lays down with a so-called white woman, sometimes that baby comes out looking straight up like a European. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can't distinguish it sometimes. You know what I mean? It's just restricted who's got released. And you're swearing, because a lot of Edomites got away. I mean, a lot of so-called blacks has gotten away with that. And inside, they never let no one know, yeah, I had a black father, so on and so forth. Because, you know, they pass for white. And then when the truth,
I know, sure.
yeah, that happens, man. And so a lot of these people
Quincy,
that think that they're
Quincy
Israelites,
Jones' daughter.
uh-huh.
Yep, Quincy Jones' daughter, the one I think the one that Tupac was messing with.
Like Blake
She
Griffin.
look all white. She look all white, but she's black. Her daughter, her father Quincy Jones. It's a rapper named Logic. His daddy is black, and he looks like a straight blue-eyed little damn white boy. His biological father is black. So it's a lot of them that black, but they come out looking like a straight white boy or white girl.
And that's why you got to be careful judging someone on the skin and all that.
Can you never?
Huh?
You got to be
You know,
careful.
I've seen
So can you never get?
so-called black folks.
Can you never get grafted back in as an Israelite?
Yeah, you can. Sure, you can. See, that's why we
Yeah, my
say it's
bad,
the
bro.
seed of your father, right? It's the seed of your father. After about
That's why I'm.
4 generations, man, that wears off, man.
But then,
I mean,
but
check
when
it out.
will your skin get back black though? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, man. Again, the Most High don't deal with skin color. You see what I'm saying? People never started doing that, man, until Esau brought that in. Esau brought that in. When you look at the Holy Roman Empire, you saw a lot of those so-called black emperors. Case in point, like Severius Septimius, he had a so-called white wife. You see what I'm saying? He was a black gladiator that came out of what they refer to as African, but he had a white wife. And so, what do they produce? They produce, a descendant that didn't look completely, like someone that would have been his descendant. And I got photos of him, man. But yeah, man.
But that's why I'm saying that some of us is out here light skinned. Some of us is out here light skinned Israelites. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them like that. But I mean, you got to remember, people didn't get that stuff, that whole racist stuff. That's recent, man. You're talking around what? Like when they try to write so-called blacks out of history. You're talking about no more than like 500 years. Racism doesn't date back really any further than that. Before that, it was just people, nation against nation. It was not based on the skin color.
Right.
People didn't really deal with skin color like that, man. That was
and
something.
I think that's kind of where the confusion come in as like people that are kind of listening. Like, remember old boy that came in last time talking about what was his name? I'm just trying to learn. You know what I'm saying? People like that, man, that got like that whole they don't
was killing me,
don't
man.
understand. Yeah, I was over here rolling, bro, when I heard that. You feel me? But hey, like people like that don't really grasp the concept, man, of like what we talking about. They all about like, oh yeah, this and that, and like they come with a lot of negativity, man, and there's a lot of them like that. You know what I'm saying? It takes for you to be able to grasp like the whole. That's why I'm asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not of a closed mind, man, and I'm always like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to, not no pun intended, but I am trying to learn. You feel what I'm saying? So and you can't never stop learning. You know what I'm saying when it comes to this. But like right now, man, it's like what I see like in the media and all these other people, man, is they trying to divide everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, especially anybody who's any kind of close akin when it comes to like, these so-called races. They trying to, that's why I keep saying, man, they put out videos of people of color going at each other. You know what I'm saying? So-called brown and black man or whatever y'all want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Going at each other, but that ain't the real people who should be at war or is warring. You know what I'm saying? It's always been like a righteous versus evil thing, and right now the evil come in all colors, just like righteous come in all colors. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I first came in here, I was like, "What's up, Talk to my brother? Sadak, my brother." I ain't trying to be funny, but you know what I'm saying? I know that, you know what I'm saying, skin color aside, like you said, it ain't got nothing to do with the skin color. It got to do with, you know what I'm saying, like, but what's really where your heart is at, bro, and what you willing to accept. You feel me?
Because at the end of the day, man, a lot of the nations, the righteous ones, they're gonna have to be taught the law anyways, man. At the end of the day, so I don't, man, I don't know people based on some kind of race. Again, like I say, man, I just hate ignorance. When people get wicked and just start attacking people for no apparent reason, I don't care who's doing that. That's just off, man. It could be a so-called, I call out everyone, so-called blacks, all of it. You hear me banging on the Israelites all of the time, man, for their wickedness.
Yeah.
But you know, it
Agreed.
doesn't matter who does it, man. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Like that, just like when the cops attacked that, and I believe it was a white elderly man. That was wrong, man. Anyone that's supposedly righteous, they would speak out against something like that. When they push that elderly man down and bust his head open, it shouldn't really matter what race someone's from. In an instance like that, you pushing a 75-year-old man to the pavement and busting his head open, and you walking by like it's nothing. That right there is wickedness. That's the kind of stuff that I hate, man. That's the kind of stuff I hate. You could be an Edomite or whatever. If you can't feel something like that, then you're too far gone, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you really got to look at it. Has this man done something to me? He hasn't done nothing to me. You see what I'm saying? That's why I be cool with a lot of Edomites. I watch him. Like, y'all gotta watch you, man. Your spirit be getting out of control, man. But if they prove themselves to be cool, hey, yeah, I'm cool. I talk to you. See, Esau come on here all of the time, man. I don't discriminate against people because of their skin. A lot of them, they might find out they just damn. Whenever you see an Edomite with freckles, science has taught me that somewhere down his descendancy there's black. They don't even know that. Any Edomite that has freckles, because since the Edomite can't produce melanin, that means that there has to be someone that's melanated in his descendancy. Because they can't produce melanin on their own. And the freckles, that's melanin.
Melanin.
Mm-hmm. Come on. What you think about that, Octavius? And I looked up the the science on it, and Edomite is nothing but somebody that's really under condition of albinism. Octaloctatavius albinism is what it's called, and there's several different variations of it. You have version 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 5. Version 1, they may just have blue eyes. You understand? Might be a so-called black person, but they have blue eyes. That's albinism. You got Eve's that up. She'll say, "Oh, he got some purity beyond blue eyes." She don't know that's albinism. That's a recessive trait. You understand what I'm saying? He might be black as I don't know what. We talking on Wesley Snipes, but he got eyes as blue as the sea. This octaloctatania albinism.
I want to tell you something about that too. Even in Uganda, and it said that they may be descendants. Some of those people may be descendants of Canaanites. Remember in the Bible said, "Behold, I put a curse of leprosy in the house of Canaan." And to this very day, you have Ugandan witches. They hunt down the albinos to do magic spells and stuff with their body parts. It's real crazy. They consider those albinos magical. It's so much to the point. In Uganda, you can look it up. Anybody can look it up. They have the Ugandan government. They have a colony where they protect albino people to this very day. Like, you can look it up.
No, I can't. Just the way you say it, man. You said they consider them magical.
They do. They'll kill them. They'll cut their arm off. Like, look, if you go on YouTube, you just type in Uganda and albinos, and there's a whole little thing going on with that. Like, even when I was researching about like like Canaan, like that kind of like Canaanite background or whatever, but like or even like the albinos and everything like that. To this very day, they consider them magical beings, and they kill them and they cut their limbs and fingers off for certain kind of spells. Yeah,
that's true. They in some countries they cut the body parts off and put it on the fishing boat because they say they bring the fishermen good luck when they go out to catch fishes and stuff like that.
You talking about for
Sick.
the Albion, the
Yeah,
albinos? I mean,
the albinos, yeah.
yeah, like it's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Hey, damn. What they use them as fishing bait?
No one deserves that, man.
Nah, my brother said they use their body parts to do ritual spells. So when they go out fishing and stuff, and like they would think they will catch more
Oh, okay. Use
fishes.
draw spell. I
Yeah,
said, damn, they damn fishing with the damn albinos?
yeah, they cut up
Cutting them up and fishing with them?
arm, toes, and they do the spells and put it on the boat to catch more fishes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It's horrible, man. Sick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What is really horrible is seeing little boys and girls with limbs missing because someone hold them down and cut off a piece part of the foot or their hand to do that. That's the horrible part.
Yeah, if you Google it, it'll say the first thing pop up: the invisible children of Uganda. It's a Ugandan plight. They have a whole Albion community, you know, that they like. There's all kind of documentaries on it, and like like you said, they'll get them. Sometimes they don't kill them, but they'll cut their arm off, fingers off. They're maimed.
Somebody said, what about blood type AB? I guess they're talking about what old boy from Hebrews to Negroes. And we're talking about AB1. I mean, what is it? B1A1, A1B1. You know about that, Tyler Doc? About the is it A1 or E1B1? The blood type of the Israelites they be talking about.
I think it says O.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's blood type. O is the original blood type.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, man, I mean, but yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to apologize. I have to go.
Okay.
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Do not hold it against me. I apologize.
Oh yeah, I think I'm about to go also, man. I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You don't eat that fried chicken over there, Tyler Doc. I heard you eating fried chicken. I heard you eating fried chicken.
Popeye's okay.
Yeah, I heard him over there smacking, man. I said, damn, Tyler, that chicken must be good. That chicken must be good, brother.
Man, you heard me eating, I've been crunching on some kale or something like that, man.
Peace and safe,
eating rabbit food.
Well, that was some good that was some good kale, man. Well, you was smacking earlier on that joke.
I wasn't eating anything. What are you talking about, man? Not tonight, man. I wasn't eating.
That wasn't you eating? I sound like you was eating.
No, that wasn't. No, that was Yashabin.
I know Yashabin.
I heard Yashabin eating it, but I haven't been eating anything tonight.
Oh, okay. I heard somebody smack. I thought that was you.
No, actually, I left and went in the room for a minute, man. But yeah, man, I guess shut this down. Hopefully, I can leave this video up. You think something was said in here that they're gonna get like wishy-washy about? I
doubt it. We weren't talking about, because Esau don't mind when you talk about other minorities, but we weren't talking about nothing too heavy. We were just giving out history lessons, actually. So it'll be a good video for people to come back and they can check out a couple things that the brothers was bringing out and get edified.
Yeah, they didn't even give a lot of thumbs up. People give some thumbs up. It's only like 56 thumbs up. How long we done the damn call, man? Like a while.
Almost man. 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. Get them thumbs up.
Hey, give a thumbs up before you leave the call.
Con. And like I say, Shabbat Shalom, brothers.
70-some people in at one time, man. It should be way more thumbs. I guess they got in their emotions, man. Got in their feelings.
Yeah.
But all right. So yeah, we're gonna say shalom. Everyone be safe, man. Have a good night.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.